Hello and welcome to the Sky News BAFTA Red Carpet live stream. I'm Bethany Minelle, arts and entertainment reporter, and I am here with Molly Mitchell, entertainment expert extraordinaire and social media whiz. We're both here in the Sky News studio. You can see we're all ready for the BAFTAs. We've even got a couple of BAFTAs knocking around just to get us in the BAFTA mood. But most importantly, we have our lady on the ground, Katie Spencer, our arts and entertainment correspondent, who is quite literally doing the job of about 17 women out there right now. Katie, what is it like on the BAFTA red carpet? You're at the Royal South Bank, the Royal Festival Hall in South Bank, right?
Look, it is very cold. It is somehow managing to be quite chaotic already, even though none of the stars have actually even arrived yet. Because, do you want to know the drama already?
Tell me the drama.
Passes weren't working, so there's been a sort of worrying half hour where a few of the sort of journalists who were meant to be on the red carpet were trying to get past security, and everyone was like, none of the passes are working. We managed to get in because we, obviously being Sky News, we're here nice and early and on time. But yeah, it's been quite hairy, I think, for a few people that sort of thought they could just casually wander in at the last minute. But this is all the drama that you expect on the red carpet at the BAFTAs. I mean, it's only going to get more chaotic from here onwards. We're going to try, within the next 2 hours on this live stream, I will be trying to wrangle as many of the celebrities and stars as we can get for you. But look, it's a really interesting year, isn't it? If you think back to what was happening at the BAFTAs last year, Oppenheimer was the one, wasn't it, that we were talking about? Well, Barbenheimer, in fact. Remember Barbenheimer, when we were all obsessed with going on about the fact there was a double billing, and actually it turned out Barbie didn't end up really doing much at all. But this year is such a wide open field, isn't it, ladies? It really is hard to kind of call which way it's going to go this year in terms of who walks away with best film, don't you think?
It's so true. I mean, Molly, can we remember as far back as Barbenheimer? It's a really crazy kind of
feels
that
so
was a year ago.
That feels decades ago.
Yeah,
like,
it really does. And obviously Oppenheimer, like you said, Katie, was the big winner that night, wasn't it? Poor old Barbie left a little bit, not completely empty-handed, but yeah, it was all about Oppenheimer, the movie, and Christopher Nolan. It was a celebration of Christopher Nolan, right? But this year, it's not so clear-cut.
I was saying to you before we started that I now want Conclave to win. I know that's really boring, but I really want it to win.
Team Conclave?
Yeah, it's such a great film. And I was really rooting for Timmy for Best Actor, but I don't know. I really don't know. But I think Conclave should do it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, obviously, Katie will literally be speaking to the stars of these films momentarily. Hopefully you'll grab Ray Fiennes, Adrian Brody. We'll be talking to all these guys. I mean, to be honest, I think it's a Brody Fiennes toss-up in my book. I don't know what you think, Katie. And I think Ray Fiennes will bag it.
Oh, it has to be Adrian Brody's year, doesn't it? No. Shall we take you through not the A, B, C, D, E's, it's the A, B, C, C, E's. I'm going to, just for a quick while, bring in Jason Mansari, my producer, who is responsible for wrangling some of the stars, which you sort of won't see the hard work that goes into him, like, shouting at the top of his voice and grabbing elbows in an assertive fashion.
We're going to schmooze as well. Schmooze. It's a bit of aggression and schmoozing and seducing and doing all the ways you can to get people in.
Let's go through the ABCCEs, which is almost catchy, isn't it? So this year, Anora is the film that everyone really was talking about that came out of Cannes. It's this film, obviously, about a stripper who falls in love with a billionaire Russian son. It was one of the early front runners that everyone's saying that's going to do very well, but it seemed to lose a bit of traction, didn't it? Mikey
Madison, though, I think is still got a lot of hope, and it has gotten some really interesting awards coming up to this.
Can she beat Demi Moore, though? She's so young, 25, 26, isn't she?
No, I don't think so. The Demi Moore train is really going, isn't it?
No stopping that train, I don't think.
Yeah, but what I'm curious to see is sort of there's some opportunities for some, like, I call them like double wins. For example, Conclave for Best Film, but also for Best British Film. Yeah. And then, interestingly, of course, Kneecap for Best British Film, which I'm sure a lot of people will see the irony of that one, but also up for the film that's not in an English language as well. So that's the kind of things that I'm excited to. Like, could there be these weird sort of anomalies where they pick up in multiple awards?
I'm sticking with my ABCs, though. So it's A for Anora, B for The Brutalist.
Sorry, Katie, I'm distracting
We've got to do our alphabet, haven't we, here? The brutalist. I think that the fear is, though, while there is no denying that it is a cinematic masterpiece, a lot of these voters, it has been a bit of a slog to persuade people, I think, to actually sit down for 3.5 hours and actually put up with the runtime.
3.5
hours
3 hours
with
and
an interval.
minutes,
I think that makes a difference. And I don't know about you, but I think with a lot of the blockbusters and how they're getting longer and longer, I wouldn't mind some of those having an interval as well.
We'd go for even an interval with a 90-minute one. We've got no attention span.
I loved
here on the
interval.
Young's team.
Did you enjoy the interval?
Yeah, I loved interval.
The interval for BAFTA.
Yeah. Like, bring back
Conclave,
intermission.
which you said was your favourite, Molly, then. Tell us why you liked Conclave so much then, Molly.
I don't even know where to start. I even loved like the costumes, like the colour, the way it was shot.
Yeah.
Priest smoking was fun to watch. I just thought it was beautiful and it was really funny. Like, why was it funny? Like, and Stanley Tucci, obviously, amazing. And I walked out the cinema.
It's one of those films where on paper it should be really dull, shouldn't it? A load of priests talking about who's going to be in the next spot, but the ability to sort of ramp up the suspense.
And then when I came out the cinema,
it's really good.
Yeah, when I came out the cinema, I thought, oh, did I actually like that? But I haven't stopped thinking about it since. So, yeah.
I mean,
which is a sign of a good film.
Yes, exactly.
Molly, I think you might have chosen the film of the night. I mean, clearly Conclave is leading the way in nominations. It's a weird one with the BAFTAs, though, isn't it? Because the BAFTAs often goes its own way. I think if you look at all the awards, the BAFTAs can sometimes go completely A1 and do their own thing with that, really. I mean, the year that All Quiet on the Western Front, that just swept everything, didn't it? But then it wasn't the same story at the Oscars. The Oscars was all about everything, everywhere, all at once.
Well, it's the same director, isn't it? Of All Quiet on the Western Front as well. So we'll see how good a night his goes.
Yeah, exactly.
Should we talk about if we're sticking to my alphabet, girls, I'm insisting we do this.
Let's go with it.
So the second C, A Complete Unknown, which is obviously the James Mangold, Bob Dylan biopic, taking in his very early days and the Timothy Chalamet vehicle, if you like. If it wasn't going to be Timmy in this, it was going to be him on Dune Part 2, wasn't it? Which is up for the Oscar, but isn't shortlisted for the best film tonight. Did you get a chance to see A Complete Unknown, or is that still on your list, Jason?
It's still on my list. I'm 75% through the awards list. I'm sorry, everybody. I really am trying, and every minute I can to catch up on all the films. But I have seen his sort of campaigning in the lead up to it. You know, the Lime Bike. I can't not talk about that. I certainly think it was designed to be his vehicle for an Oscar, and possibly...
Lime Bike.
The Lime Bike was designed for Timothy Chalamet to win an Oscar or a BAFTA, but I'm not sure tonight it's the night for that film.
No, I'm not sure it is either. Although I do think it's a wonderful film, but I don't know if it's just because I absolutely adore the music of Bob Dylan, and it is effectively just a sort of jukebox film almost, isn't it? We get all the songs that you'd want to hear.
Snapper, isn't he, old Timothy Chalamet? But he's already been up for 3 times nominated for BAFTA. So will this be his one? I'm not sure. He's still got plenty more years in him. I think this might go to somebody else, the big prize for Best Actor. But you know, Timmy does a good job.
I think the internet wants it for him.
He'll get there, won't he?
Yeah, exactly.
But look, if we're doing my A, B, C, E's, E is for Emilia Perez. Oh, where do we start with Amelia Perez? I mean, it's one of those things where
hasn't it?
It's got very complicated, hasn't it?
I may have not gone through all the films, but I did see that one quite early. You only watched it last night.
I watched it last
night in preparation. Personally, I thought it was a brilliant storytelling. You know, it took me in places I didn't think it would go.
Well, the one thing, if you haven't seen it, it is all about a drug kingpin who is trans and wants to transition from being a man to a woman, and whether or not she can rebuild her life and restart again. It is a musical, it's an action film, it's a sort of hyped
a family drama as well.
It's a hyped up telenovela as well.
That's a good description,
That's why I get paid money. Do you know what? It's strange. I do think I enjoyed it, and I think a lot of the people that are hating on the film at the moment have forgotten that it is actually quite a good, very different film compared to a lot of the stuff that's out there, and I think it undoubtedly does deserve to be nominated. Do we need to talk about the controversy though? Carla Sofia Gaston. Gascon.
Yeah.
Yes. And her tweets, which we won't go into the tweets, will we? But she's gone from being sort of the front runner of up for Best Actress to
possibly
now
the first trans actress to win that award. But there's
She's not
also
on the red
the other
carpet
controversy
tonight,
behind it
just
as well,
to
as
say.
of course is the people native to the country and where it was set. Now they are having a big objection to the fact that it wasn't shot there.
No, French filmmaker, filmed in France as well for the tax break, so it's kind of annoyed people in Mexico, it's annoyed the trans community for some of the ways that it's presented, the trans identity as being something that you kind of can switch on and off.
There are
Is there anyone that it
there's
hasn't
so
annoyed?
many issues, isn't there? It's building one on
Apparently
one
not.
on one. But you're right, it's gone from front runner, 11 nominations to, gosh, is it going to get any tonight? Katie, you are being literally called back into TV right now. So we are going to lose you briefly, but we will be back really soon. As soon as you catch us a celebrity, we will be back on you like a shot and listening to your words of wisdom.
One thing we do know that's worth noting, Carla is not going to be here because it would seem that they're not really sort of stumping up the money for her to go to these award ceremonies. So unless she's booked herself her own ticket, then we don't think she's going to be here. There you go, them's the breaks. But we will, I will let you know when we've got someone good for you to talk to.
Please do. We'll catch you again very soon. Thank you so much, Katie and Jason.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Honestly, the buzz and the chaos. We started off talking about the chaos of the red carpet. And it does have to be said that red carpets are amazing. You've got some of the biggest talent in the world on that carpet in one place in 2 hours. It's pretty cool. But one thing they are not is glamorous.
And there's a lot of waiting around. A lot of waiting. Poor Katie, she must be freezing.
Literally. And quite a lot of outlets have maybe several people on the red carpet, chatting to people. No, not us.
No.
Katie is doing the whole lot. So she will literally, Jason will grab people for her. But it's very much a kind of red and shiny factory line, isn't it? So the celebrities will be walking down the carpet. All of the journalists will be in something called a media pen, squashed together with cameramen and sound people and all sorts of things going on. And the celebs will come down the carpet. Now, at the beginning, I think we can see there, that's the area where they have photos taken, like the fashion camera, and they'll be doing photos and things. There's kind of always two spots where the celebs kind of can stand and get a double whammy of shots. And then they're pumped down the carpet and you try to grab a word with them if you can. Only a couple of minutes, really, isn't it? There's not many questions and there's not much time.
And you always get the one, like someone at the start of the line taking longer than they should have. And then it's all very awkward and the PRs are trying to move them down and it's all quite... But it's fun.
It's fun. And by the end, what you'll have is kind of almost a bottleneck of celebrities. And it's fair to say that normally the biggest celebrities come towards the end.
Yes.
I mean, almost just straight down the carpet into the ceremony, bums on seats.
Yeah.
So we'll probably get some of our big stars, I'd hope, towards the end. But at the beginning, it's sometimes a really nice time to have a really in-depth chat to some of the kind of more craft awards, because obviously we're going to be talking lots about the actor for acting, best actor, best actress, best supporting actor, best supporting actress, of course best film, the best British film, best director. They're kind of the biggies, but there are so many other awards, aren't there, going out today, and so there'll be all sorts of people on the red carpet. It'll be directors, sound people, editors, costume.
Makeup,
exactly,
everyone, which is quite nice. Hopefully, it'd be interesting to see who wins those sort of ones, and the awards that no one really talks about. Quite interesting.
And the speeches can sometimes be a bit more fun as well, because perhaps there's not quite so much media training if you're a costume designer as if you're Adrian Brody. So it's there's always scope for fun, and some of the outfits at the beginning, it does have to be said, are really fun.
You know who doesn't need media training?
No,
it should never get media training.
Who?
Kieran Culkin. He should never, ever change, stop, do it. He is amazing, and I really need him to win, just for his speech. Great performance, but I just want to see his speech performance. He's amazing.
He's been working it with the speeches, hasn't he?
So good, so funny.
And it's fair to say he's up for Best Support Actor for Total Pain.
A Real Pain.
A Real Pain.
I always keep saying a great pain, and I don't know why.
A big pain.
A big pain.
And so, I think there's a lot of energy behind that nomination, isn't there? And I think a lot of people think he is definitely going to take Best Support Actor.
Interestingly, Jeremy Strong, who's in Succession with, is up for Best Supporting Actor for The Apprentice. So Succession fans will be happy to see. I think Jeremy Strong's there. I'm sure I read he was there.
No,
He
is there.
Yeah,
and it's
nice
gonna
little
be,
reunion.
I love this. The Roy family
Yes.
kind of fight and drama is coming to the BAFTAs.
Yes. We just need Shiv to turn up, Sarah Suk,
Yeah.
her to turn up, and then, well, everyone will be happy. Wish Brian Cox was there. That would have been a nice
That
moment.
would be a beautiful moment. And the other people in the supporting actor are Yura Borisov. Now, he's the guy from Anora. So obviously you'll recognise him if you've watched Anora. But if not, you might not recognise him because obviously he hasn't been in English films up till now.
Yes.
We've also got Clarence Macklin for Sing Sing, Edward Norton, a complete unknown. Some people are saying he's got sort of an outside chance. Great performance there. Guy Pearce in The Brutalist, and then, like you said, Jeremy, brother to Kieran.
Yes.
Almost. So it's a pretty strong field, but I think you're totally right. Kieran Culkin is going to take it. Kieran Culkin is also going to do a classic Culkin speech, isn't he? It's going to be wacky. I don't know if his wife's going to be with him on the red carpet.
He always speaks so nicely about his wife.
Yeah.
It's really cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got Henry, who's outside in the office, but he's seeing a lot of people on YouTube chatting about Wicked. What are your thoughts on Wicked?
So, Wicked, obviously we've got the wonderful Cynthia Erivo, who, I mean, she really carries the film for me. Obviously she's a wonderful British actress, we love her, but I mean, I think she is very worthy of an award. Do I think that she's going to get one? I possibly don't, but it's nothing to do with her amazing talent here. I keep forgetting Wicked. I don't know if it's because it's one that came out early or because we know there's a part 2 coming next year. So my brain just goes, oh, there's more coming.
Yeah, I think as well that category is quite the best. I think the females this year is very tough to call. And I think the people she's up against in that category, it's just maybe not her time. Doesn't take away from her incredible performance, but
she is awesome in it. And to be fair, the film is really good. If you're into musicals, I mean, we've had this debate in events, haven't we? And some people, it's fair to say, are not big fans of musical. Gemma Peplow, who writes for us and is our other entertainment reporter, she's basically me. She isn't a fan of musicals, so she's struggled on that front with them. But you know, if you know the book, some people knew the book. A lot of people knew it as a West End, Broadway, and then West End musical.
So I didn't like the musical, and my flatmate, who's also called Molly, dragged me to go with her, and I loved the film so much. Now I think maybe I need to go see the musical again and maybe
reevaluate.
Yeah, I think I'm very a believer of just leave things alone. Like Wizard of Oz, just leave it alone. But actually, the movie's amazing. Ariana Grande as well in Wicked is unbelievable. I was never a big Ariana Grande fan, just not really into her music or anything. Oh, she's unreal.
It's a great performance, isn't it?
She's very funny.
She's just right for that role.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, it's so true. And obviously, you know, should she win a BAFTA, that would be her first. There's lots of first-time nominees this year as well, it's fair to say. Cynthia Erivo has been nominated once before, but it was for the Rising Star Award back in 2019. She hasn't been up for like a full-on acting prize. So as lovely as it would be for her to win, I don't think she will. Maybe I'll be eating my words very shortly.
Yeah, no.
But, no, I mean, Wicked is. I think for me, Wicked maybe stands the best chance in the costume. Category.
I wish there was a musical category. You know, the Golden Globes, they have like best musical, like or something.
Yeah.
Like that would be nice for.
Yeah.
Wicked would take all of them there.
You're so right, because obviously there's sound, but that's kind of different. I mean, it's up for sound as well, but sound is something a bit different, isn't it?
And score is different as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what has a great score? Conclave.
You are just Team Conclave, aren't you?
But yesterday when I was looking up kind of like behind the scenes sort of things, the guy who did the score for All Quiet on the Western Front is the same man who does the Conclave score, which I thought was quite nice. Just a nice little fact.
Yeah, exactly. Now we can see Katie there chatting to somebody on the red carpet. Who's she chatting to? Oh, she is speaking to Sarah Putt, chair of BAFTA. So she's one of the big important ladies behind the running of this whole thing and putting the whole of this massive event together. I think it's fair to say that this year, I feel like it's a really big year.
Yeah.
I feel like, especially because, of course, we've got the Oscars coming up in a week or so, and they've so far. The preparation for them has been overshadowed by the awful fires in LA, so there's been a level of soberness to all the award seasons in the US so far. But obviously, over here. This is kind of our big
our
film
moment.
night. Yeah, exactly. And so I feel like, as well, there's so many stars. I mean, we'll be seeing them walk the red carpet very shortly, but a lot of the big stars are here tonight. I know we said, obviously, Carla Sofia Gascon isn't going to be there, but pretty much everybody else.
Selena Gomez is going to be there. Zoe Saldana is going to be there. And they are also... Are they head-to-head in the same category? Best Supporting Actress? Yes, they are. They are. Both of them are nominated. So there's another... It's not the same as Jeremy Strong and Kieran Culkin, but it's interesting to see two people from the same movie go head-to-head.
It's always a bit weird, isn't it? It feels like a bit of... always feels like a bit of a shame.
Yeah.
Really. So we've got Zoe Saldana for Emilia Perez, and Selena Gomez for Emilia Perez in Best Supporting Actress. I think it's going to be Zoe Saldana.
Yeah.
Just saying. And it's an amazing performance. Yeah. Whatever you think of the film, I have my reservations about it, but her performance was unbelievable. She is a triple threat. She can sing, she can dance, and she can act.
Another fun fact about Emilia Perez is that, well, it's about Zoe Saldana. You pronounce her second name perfectly. I can't do it with my accent. But she has been in the top 3 highest grossing films ever. The top 3 ones she's been also, it's the 2 Avatar movies and Avengers Endgame. She's been in both. She's been in all 3. And I think if I can read my own writing, it says she has starred in 6 of the highest grossing films of all time, and she's in the top 3.
You see, that really, I mean, she is almost, I don't know if there's more than a triple threat. She is extra threats, isn't she? Because she can do the big tentpole kind of superhero blockbusters. But no, look at Emilia Perez. I mean, like we were saying, it defies categorization, doesn't it? It's a very different film, and she absolutely nails that too. There's something like really special, I think, about an actress that can jump between films and genres and indie and big and small and just do it with such aplomb.
She was in a Netflix series recently, and I've totally forgot the name of it. But my flatmate, she watched it, and I've never seen my flatmate cry like this before. And the part is amazing. I'll find out the name. I will find out the name for you, but it's so good. It's on Netflix now.
Well, of course, Netflix have been busy dealing with a big drama because where they like to have their great big kind of party on the Sunday, the Chiltern Firehouse, sadly, began to burn down on Friday. So big parts of the hotel are going to be renovated from now on. The party's been pulled, but don't worry, it's still carrying on. It's going to be in another part of Mayfair in Grosvenor Square. Yeah. So Netflix will still be celebrating. Obviously, they'll be celebrating wins, but we'll see. Yeah. And as well as Emilia Perez, we've got the wonderful Wallace and Gromit film. That's one of theirs. So, they've got plenty of irons in the fire there. So it'll be interesting to see how Netflix do it at the end of the night.
On Emilia Perez, someone on YouTube, sorry if I'm going to pronounce your name completely wrong, but Ariak, I think, he said, can we also give more praise to the choreographer, Demi Moore, for Emilia Perez?
Yeah.
So, can you talk about the choreography?
I mean, immediately you said that. I don't know about you, but for me, my brain switches into that amazing in kind of with the tables, and you've got Zoe Saldana getting onto a table and doing this great big dance on one of the big musical numbers, and it is beautifully choreographed. The moves and the kind of the backing dancers. You've got some slightly more crazy kind of choreography going on. There's a bit where they go to Bangkok and Tel Aviv, I think, and they're talking to the doctors who are going to be performing the gender reassignment surgery. And it's wacky, but it's actually very cleverly done. It does have to be said, and choreography is something. I mean, I am not a dancer.
Me neither.
Just being honest here, I'm not going to be getting up on the table and doing a jig. I'm not a good dancer. I'm don't know my left from my right. But choreography, when it's done well in a film like that, is exquisite, isn't it? You almost don't notice it because it's so perfect.
Yeah, so satisfying to watch.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it is a bit weird. People suddenly jumping into song and dance numbers, but it's done really well, and it does fit in very much with the tone of the film, which, whatever you say, the tone is full on, isn't it? It's in your face. It does what it does, and it does it really well.
Such an interesting... When you read the storyline, I can't imagine it being a musical.
No.
But it is.
Yeah. Like, how would you pitch that? What do they say? What's your elevator pitch? I mean, where do you start? Mexican cartel leader who decides to have gender reassignment surgery. And then when you actually talk about the film and then kind of reinvent their life, but then also it's filmed in France, but a French director, but obviously it's a Mexican story. I mean, that's, as we touched upon earlier, part of the controversy is obviously a lot of Mexican people find it they're saying this is stereotypes
Yes.
that we're seeing here, not the actual kind of like real Mexican authentic experience. One of the actresses, Anna, I forget her name, but there's one of the key actresses who is Mexican. Everybody else really isn't, none of the main characters.
Yeah.
So I mean that's part of the reason it's come in for a bit of a kicking. And in fact there was quite a funny spoof going around on the internet called Johann Sacre Bleu, which was made by a group of kind of Mexican filmmakers and activists who kind of put together their own Mickey take, shall we say, of the French stereotypes filmed in Mexico. It was, it's definitely the first few minutes are worth watching. It's very funny.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it's an awkward one, complicated one.
Yes,
but
very complicated.
It's a shame because the film is obviously it's Oscar nominated as well. It's leading the Oscar race, not leading the BAFTAs, but leading the Oscars.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see.
Most nominated foreign film, not far off like the most nominated film ever. I think it kind of fell slightly behind. Like you got Titanic and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. But absolutely, I mean, we do use that phrase, don't we? Fall from grace. Yeah. And I think obviously we were talking about Carla Sofia Gascon's tweets and things. That, of course, has got a lot of attention, and now she isn't at the red carpet and is very unlikely, I feel it's fair to say, to win any of the leading actress prizes that she could have. And obviously that would have been a moment for a trans actress to have won that prize. That would have been in itself kind of a unique historical moment. Unlikely to happen now, but it would be interesting to see, does the film then suffer from that? And definitely Netflix has been putting a lot of effort into promoting Zoe Saldana recently. And as I said, it's a stellar performance by her.
Oh, we see Katie talking to...
Who is she chatting to and which film? Everyone looks fantastic, don't they? There's lots of black as far as the male suits are concerned. Yeah. It's always slightly off-putting and a little bit dull. But let's have a listen and see what film they're talking about.
About the only female ball jumper in France. And it sort of chronicles the journey before her first ball jumping performance. So it's all set in an arena, and it takes place sort of in real time where she walks out and performs. But it's her journey as the female in an all-male world. And yeah, it was the most beautiful journey we've ever been on.
Caroline, if we can bring you in just quickly then. So how has it been having your story brought to life on the screen now?
Comment c'était d'avoir ton histoire sur l'écran?
C'était surprenant mais très réaliste.
It was extremely surprising, realistic,
et bien reproduit, on va dire.
And very well made by Finn and Joe.
Is it strange to find yourself on the BAFTA red carpet now? What's this whole experience been like?
Est-ce que c'est bizarre de te retrouver sur le tapis rouge des BAFTA aujourd'hui? Et comment ça a été cette expérience pour toi?
Ça a été une expérience vraiment formidable et surprenante et très enrichissante. Et se retrouver aujourd'hui ici, c'est inimaginable en fait, incroyable.
It's incredible, and she could have imagined how it's to be here. It's just incredible.
And just finally, for short films, what does it mean to get the sort of attention that you get with being up for a BAFTA?
I mean, I think it's everything, to be honest with you. You know, how does the industry find new talent? Like, where do we find new stories? It all sort of starts with the shorts. So to be here and to be walking around with these characters and these filmmakers who we admire and have watched for years is really special.
Enjoy the night. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you all. Thank you.
So yeah, we can see people. Did you hear that scream there as we came off the red carpet? That is often the most beautiful moment on a red carpet. Not scripted moments at all, but sometimes the stars of the show, the celebrities and the actors, will see each other across the carpet. And actors that you've actually never seen on screen together, and you didn't even, obviously you don't know they know each other, how would you know? But they suddenly like fall together and hug each other or joke and laugh, or even sometimes like jump in on each other's interviews. And they're often the most kind of real, organic moments on the carpet that are actually the most fun. And they're often the bits you don't really get to see, do you, unless you're looking behind the scenes.
Or they're the ones that go viral later on, hours later when someone watching it has clocked it and like puts it out. But yeah, so we just realised that Kate and William are not going to be there. They're usually there kind of every year.
Yeah, two of the big stars, and of course the reason Prince William would be there is he's been BAFTA president since 2010. As you said, most years he does come along. He has a presence. He says he's got a real interest in film and filmmaking, and obviously helping the future generations, because of course BAFTA is a charity, isn't it? This is celebrating film and great British talent, but it's also a charity kind of hoping to help the next generation. In fact, it's got the special BAFTA Rising Star, which is a big prize to do that. They've also got a scheme this year called Set the Stage, which is about helping people behind the scenes, like the craft areas we were talking about earlier. But yes, this year William isn't going to be on the red carpet, and instead I think just at the end of last week he went along to a film school in Islington, and he kind of did some chatting to some of the young people there studying film, and he said he was going to be, that was his effort this year, kind of looking towards the future rather than so much being at this event and celebrating with the current stars. It's also worth saying it's half term, I think, for some schools. So potentially maybe he's at home looking after the kids. Do you know what? We've all been there. So I
busy man.
Yeah, he really is a busy man. And of course, another kind of bit of BAFTA royalty we've not mentioned is David Tennant.
I love him.
Yeah. I don't know if Katie has spoken to him yet. If not, I'm sure she will.
Hopefully.
He, of course, is hosting the BAFTAs this year for the second year running. Worth noting, he's never actually won a BAFTA.
Is he not?
Not a British one. He's apparently won, I think he's won a Scottish one. He might have even won a couple of Welsh ones, but no British ones yet. So he gets to host it, but he hasn't actually got one to take home.
I mean, I'm biased because Scotland, but love David Tennant. I think he's amazing. And then him and Michael Sheen have like the funniest friendship. Co-stars and what's that BBC drama they were in over lockdown?
Yes, the one where they were kind of on Zoom, basically. Quite lo-fi, but it was
sounds like a really bad idea. Very funny, very, very funny. So I'm excited for just David Tennant to be David Tennant.
He does do it really well. He's got lots of experience. Clearly, there was a moment, wasn't there, a few years ago where you could not turn the TV on without David Tennant being either doing the voiceover or starring in it or being on a panel show. But he does do it beautifully. And last year his opening monologue was hilarious. It was really good. I don't know if you remember, it had a whole spoof about dog sitting and about Michael Sheen's dog, Bart Gruffalo.
Yes.
And then there was a stunt dog. And in fact, next day, one of the big pieces of news, I mean, I say that jestingly, was that the dog actually wasn't Michael Sheen's dog. It was a stunt dog. It was a dog brought in to act. It was an acting dog. This is the BAFTAs, darling. Of course it's not a real dog. But no, hopefully it should be really funny. He's no Ricky Gervais. He won't be roasting the celebrities. No. But at the same time, I think he's got just the right level of cheeky.
Yeah, he'd get away with it. And no controversy if David Tennant.
Yeah.
There won't be anything controversial. Speak soon. We have a nice wee message from Lucian? Oh, I can't.
Oh, Lucian.
Yeah, I'm very bad at pronouncing, so I'm very sorry, everyone. They've said, rooting for Wicked, super accomplished as a musical and as a movie. Ariana Grande is such a great comedian. I agree. Her and Cynthia Erivo's voices are wonderful and complement each other's wonderfully.
Hello.
Who is that?
Katie has the most fantastic. So we've got a Game of Thrones star here, chatting to us. She's actually so tall. I can tell she's tall just from this shot. Let's have a listen in and see what she's talking. I believe she's presenting a prize tonight.
Well, sometimes that can be important too. The fact that you can't move. I played a character called Brienne of Tarth in Game of Thrones. Movement was not easy for her because she was wearing metal armour, but it gave a lot to the character and a lot to the performance.
It's a great category to get. Enjoy yourself. You look stunning as well.
Thanks so much.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Yes, so that was Gwendolyn Christie. She is indeed presenting a prize tonight. Because, of course, not all the actors that we see on the carpet are up for awards. There's all sorts of things going on, like we've got the presenters. Sometimes you've just got actors there because they're heavily involved with BAFTA and BAFTA members. Because, of course, they're the people voting for the prizes, basically. I think there's 13,500 BAFTA members, and the voting system is very complicated. I'm not going to attempt to explain it to you, Molly, because it's very complicated. But basically, they vote in chapters and juries, and then once you've got your final short list, the BAFTA members then vote. Everybody votes. All of the film members vote for those final winners, and so should, in theory, have seen every film and short and animated piece on our list. If you're a BAFTA member and you're voting, you should have seen all of those.
You were talking about other actors being there.
Yeah.
So you've got TV actors, maybe. So this is all films, but we're going to get Adam Scott from Severance is going to be presenting.
Fantastic. Season 2, if you haven't watched it, very good.
So good. Then Anna Kendrick, random, but she's going to be there.
Oh, I think she'll be funny.
Yeah. What about Camila Cabello?
Camila Cabello. She has been loving Wicked.
Oh,
yeah, I'm sure I have seen her performing some great kind of like, defying gravity and kind of like going through some of the numbers. So I wonder what would she be.
James McAvoy, love him too. He is going to be doing the BAFTA Rising Star Award.
Well, that's beautifully appropriate. He was the first ever winner.
So he's going to be presenting that. Who else? Pamela Anderson is going to be there.
Can I just say, a woman that wears no makeup to the red carpet is my heroine.
Yeah.
I would happily wear no makeup at all times.
Yeah.
Probably my pyjamas too, let's face it. But we're not talking about Bridget Jones tonight.
Yeah.
But yeah, she is absolutely amazing. It's The Last Showgirl, obviously, is her big film at the moment. Is The Last Showgirl?
Someone is nominated.
Anything?
I think supporting actress. Someone is nominated.
Let's have a look. That's the trouble. When there's so many different
awards.
areas, it's really easy. So I think this year, yeah, you're right. So Jamie Lee Curtis is up for supporting actress, but Pamela isn't up for best actress.
What a great cast. I need to see that film.
Yeah, I have not. That's one I haven't seen, and I'm really keen to. There's been so many things recently, hasn't it?
Now Katie's speaking too.
Let's listen in and let's see what he's talking about, and then we'll see what film he's to do with.
What was your thinking going into it? What was your general kind of ideas for what you wanted to achieve?
Well, when I heard the first time that I will be working on Conclave, obviously I thought about the Vatican, and the first thing is obviously you think about choir and organ and like religious choral music, But then the second thought in my case is always that I say no. That's too easy. I can't use the choir and I can't use the organ. So I searched for an instrument that is ethereal, that expresses maybe a kind of a religious, idealistic state of mind, but that is also different and maybe modern. And so I found an instrument called the crystal bachet that was built in 1952 near Paris, and it's made out of glass rods. And you put your hands in water, and you rub the glass rods, and then you have metal cylinders that are in a way distorting the glass sound. And I invited one player to my studio, and he just played it, and I was just standing there.
Instantly.
It was like, wow, this is exactly what I need. And I recorded with him like a whole day, and then I sent that music to Edward, and that's mostly the question. Which I had the same situation with All Quiet. Sometimes you send something to the director and you don't know if the resonance is great when you are enthusiastic. Sometimes the reaction might be, oh no, man, you have to change something. And that is very frustrating because then you, in a way, your initial flame is a little bit going lower and you have to build another enthusiasm. But in this case, I sent it to Edward and he said, I really love it. Please.
What on earth are you going to do with the next film? Where are you going to find these bizarre
Well, I'm already finished. Not finished, but I have already, Edward and me, we have already working on the next film.
So you guys have obviously found that this is a collaboration that just really works and a partnership.
It works, I would say, it's like in a good relation. You have, like in a good partnership. Once you are together, you are liking each other, and at the same time you are growing. That's the best chemical industry.
It's being a composer, like having the ultimate sort of toy shop at your disposal. Can you kind of just think, oh, I could do this and that and do anything?
I'm childish. I love experiments. I love searching. I would rather say I'm more a searcher than a musician. Because I love being surprised, and sometimes you have to surprise yourself by building blocks of your usual habits, so you have to change your habits. And that is not always, it's not easy sometimes, because it is easy to work on something in the same way as you always worked, But Edward and me, every time we start, we say, let's find something new, let's find something that is interesting, inspiring. And obviously then you the doors are closed and you're like, okay, How can I do that, you know? Yeah. And but then you have to find your own way of, searching, looking into instruments, maybe even inviting people. Then you feel like, no, this isn't not the right way. This is not the right way. So it needs a lot of research and failure as well.
Well, look, that partnership that you two have got, it does seem to be paying off. If it's as good a year as All Quiet, then you'll have a great night.
Well,
we'll see.
We'll see. But being nominated is already fantastic.
Thank you. It's a great film. Nice to meet you again.
Nice meeting you.
Goodbye.
That was Volker Bertelmann. He is, of course, one of the nominees tonight. He's the composer for Conclave for original score category. You were literally bigging him up earlier, weren't you? Saying how good the score is.
The score for Conclave, I can't describe it. It's just so good. Yeah. And he also did the score for All Quiet on the Western Front, as he was just saying. So
he's got history.
Him and Edward Berger, a good team. And we can see Jeff Goldblum now.
Yes, the man himself. Jeff Goldblum has entered the room. He's somebody who literally cannot enter a red carpet or room without everybody knowing he is fantastic and a law unto himself. Now, he's actually, he's not up for a prize tonight, but look at him.
No, he's loving it.
He was made for this job. He is going to be performing tonight. So we will see him performing during, I think, very touchingly for the In Memoriam section, which is obviously a sad part of the show every year when we look at the stars of film who we have lost in the preceding year. So he will be performing for us a little bit later.
Yeah, he's playing the piano. I think that's
very talented man. He really is. Slightly off the wall, but in the best possible way. It's interesting, actually, because he's one of his latest TV things that he has done is a show called Chaos, where he plays Zeus, King of the Gods. Honestly, the casting is perfect. But in it, his son is Naban Rizwan, who is one of the BAFTA Rising Stars nominees, one of the 5. So he could win tonight. That'd be interesting to see. His dad will be there in the form of Jeff Goldblum / Zeus if he does win.
that could be a nice moment as well.
It really could. Yeah.
But
and of course, we're talking about reunions here. It's a bit of a Bridget Jones reunion, isn't there? And don't get excited. Renee Zellweger's not here. Got to say, one of my big heroes. She won't be there. But we've got Hugh Grant.
Leo Woodall.
And Leo Woodall are going to be there. Now, Hugh Grant's up for an award, isn't he?
That was our last that was a surprise. Not that he doesn't deserve it, but it just was one of the film's Heretic.
Exactly.
Best actor. And I think that'd be interesting if he won. I think that'd be fun. Like, no one's really expecting him to win, so it could be... And he's so grumpy and funny, and unintentionally funny.
He really is.
So it'd be a nice moment if he wins.
Well, last year he presented an award, and he did it. I don't know if you remember. He did it in the style of an Oompa Loompa. He literally read out a poem. It was very funny.
Oh,
doesn't sound funny when I describe it like that. It was funny, but if he does take the prize, and you're quite right there, I think you know how everyone loves a snub.
Yeah.
Everyone felt very much that Daniel Craig potentially was the name who didn't get on the list because Hugh Grant did, and that's for Queer, which hasn't got a lot of love in the awards season so far, it's fair to say. But anyway, Hugh Grant has made it onto the list for Heretic. In fact, I've discovered I can't say the name of that film. How often do you say Heretic?
Heretic, yeah.
I've watched it, but I can't say it. But horror film, so yeah, really strange for that to get on a list. Horror films don't normally get love at the awards seasons. But if he does win, he last won a BAFTA in 1995, 30 years ago. Oh, Katie's got someone else. Let's zoom in and see what they're telling us about.
The production of it was, we just can't mess this up. Like, if we just can follow the lead of the book in terms of the tone and the spirit of the whole thing, then hopefully, it would be easy sailing. Of course, it wasn't easy sailing. None of these things are ever easy sailing. But we had our North Star. We knew what we were aiming for.
Talk us through the logistics of how many people worked on this thing, Chris, as well. It's a massive team undertaking.
That's a producer question. I'll throw that back.
And I don't know the exact number, but it was about 400. Yeah, about 400 in total.
And I mean, to be sort of presiding over all of that, Chris, as well. People took such care and heart into crafting these wonderful scenes for you. Are you incredibly proud? Was it a hard one to let go of?
You know, that's a really good question. It was. Of all the films I've ever worked on, this is the one that no one wanted it to end. And these are not easy to make, as Jeff said. And even if you're very, very proud of it, there really comes a time when you're ready to be done. It's been a big project, and it's been years, but not this time. nobody wanted it to end. As every animator ran out of inventory at that last meeting, they'd say, "Don't you have one more scene that I could do, one more shot?" And we'd get all choked up. We're like, if we have one, we'll find you. And yeah, it was unusual that way.
I was fortunate enough to come actually on the day that you were recording the orchestra part, the orchestral part, which was fantastic to watch, and then to actually see.
And Chris Bowers, amazing
Chris
music.
Bowers is sensational what he's done for the score for the film as well. But I mean, explain for people that won't have seen it how. The role that music plays in this as well, because there isn't a lot of dialogue really, I guess, as well, but music is central as well.
That's the perfect question. I've learned a long time ago that music is a storytelling force. It's not just there to decorate time. So we build spaces in the film where the characters stop talking and music becomes the voice of the film. And there are sequences in the film, like the migration sequence and a sequence where Roz is rescuing animals in the middle of the winter, and that's where Chris Bowers is the main voice of the action.
Did you always have Chris in mind?
I mean, he was on the list from the very beginning, and that was something that we worked closely with Universal's music group about, and they and we felt very strongly about looking for somebody who might not have been given the same level of opportunity as like a fully established, A-list composer, which of course you consider those as well, but it kind of excited us, the uniqueness of this film, the freshness of the music kind of being a voice and a character in the film, and we wanted to give somebody more up and coming a chance. Chris Bowers has been doing this for years. He's scored many, many films, but he hasn't gotten that film that has kind of catapulted him forward, and he absolutely is. I mean, this is a score for the ages, and he well exceeded his programming and our programming in the movie nomenclature to deliver a score that is just utterly beautiful.
Can I ask what you make as well of the response that you get from the audience? To hear sort of people like myself, you reduce us to sort of juddering tears at various moments.
So last night, I didn't get to tell you this. Last night, I met a friend it was Chris Bowers' friend, and his name escapes me because I was meeting a lot of people, but he took his daughter, and she's 6. And I want to remember this. He said his daughter was crying at the end, and she said, "Daddy, I'm crying, but it feels good."
Yes.
And that was like the best description of it, I thought.
That's it. But for the adults as well, it's the parental responsibility.
We're having as many adults come forward with the same reaction, and again, we kind of tailored the film to what we thought worked emotionally for us, and we didn't tire of watching on, because we look at these things over and over and over again, and if it was still working on like the 80th go round, we knew something was potentially there, but until you put it in front of an audience, and then to have people of all ages, small children, adults, teenagers, everyone reacting to it and kind of reacting to different elements of the themes, depending on where they're at in life, they kind of gravitate towards something unique, like the adults gravitate towards parenthood, and we had college-age kids come up to us and tell us that now they understand what their parents must have felt like when they went off to university. And so people are finding the things in there that apply directly to them at that point in their lives, and it's incredible.
Yeah, we felt all those things, and I think it was about making sure that hopefully anybody who watches it is feeling the same things we felt. All the way back to when we read Peter Brown's book. It's all there, and it's about transporting that successfully to the screen.
Whether you win or not, you have made this beautiful film that will be remembered within the history of animation. It's a fantastic piece of art. Thank you. Very nice to meet you both. Thank you so much. Thank you. Enjoy the night.
Okay, so that was Katie chatting to Chris Saunders. He's one of the nominees tonight. He is the director, writer of Wild Robot. So that's in the animated film, children and family film section.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard they were just saying how emotional it is. I've heard it is soul destroying, but in the best way.
Yeah. And I think Katie actually chatted to one of the voice stars, Lupita Nyong'o, who I think is on the red carpet tonight. She chatted to her and about her voice performance in that, and it's often animated films don't get a lot of love, do they? They kind of people think, it's a kids film, but actually it's very hard to do well, isn't it?
Well, now I look back at old Shrek and stuff. They're for adults. They're so funny. So it can be sad as well. Animation's not for kids anymore, I don't think.
No, definitely not. Why should they have all the fun?
Exactly.
Now, talking of having fun, if you are watching us on the Sky News app or the website, do submit any questions for us, any predictions, anything you want to tell us. And if you're watching on YouTube, I think you can use the live chat feature on that. So yeah, just let us know, because obviously we're not actually on the red carpet. We're as good as, aren't we? We're kind of like the eye in the sky. We can see everything going on. We can see that there's some fabulous dresses there with little cutouts. Look at that, hit the star. Just stand on the star, please, so I can take your photo. The stars will be yelled at by all the photographers. They'll be told to stand front on, stand side on, move along. Also various partners, if they've got them with them, they will do some with their partners and then they'll be moved on. Sometimes they'll encourage them to do it on their own.
You always know someone big is coming, because you just hear this like roar of the voices and shouting and screaming, then no one can see who it actually is, because everyone's
hullabaloo.
Yeah.
I remember when I was on a red carpet and Lady Gaga was coming down, and number one, you knew she was coming because of the buzz coming and her entourage. And then she had a very feathery skirt on. And as she came down the carpet, she left like a little sprinkle of pink feathers. I think I still have one of her pink feathers at home. So
that's a good souvenir. That's probably worth a lot of money now.
Well, maybe. I mean, I say I've still got it. Can I find it? Yeah, probably not. But yeah, no, I love that as well. Like, wouldn't it be nice to have somebody with you at all times, just to rearrange your clothes, check that your zipper's not undone, check you've not got something stuck to you. I mean, that's the job of a good assistant stroke PR.
Yeah, she looks great.
It really does, doesn't it? There's quite a lot of monochrome going on today, which I like. A few bright... In fact, it's fair to say that if any of the celebs look a bit worse for wear, it's because there was a big party last night. So the nominees' party is the night before, so Saturday night. So they've already had plenty of parties. Hopefully they're looking fresh. But yes, so that went on yesterday. There were some really fun outfits. I think Anna Kendrick was in like a bright red dress. Demi Moore had a sort of, it was monochrome, but it was like a feathery number skirt. So it'd be interesting to see what she wears today as she walks.
We need to take a look at all the pictures afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, hopefully we'll catch everyone there on the kind of the fashion camera, the photo camera as they come in. But as we've said to you, like, it will busy up, because at the moment we're sort of seeing everyone go through nicely, and there will be great big bunches at the end, and then this red carpet basically runs through to around 4:30, at which point all those poor PRs in the black coats that you can see stressing out, telling everyone to get to their places, they will be trying desperately to get everyone sat down in the ceremony to watch, so that's ready to kick off, and then that will be filmed. And of course we'll be finding out who wins what nice and bright and early, won't we, before it goes on TV. So you will hear it here first.
Yeah, we have a live blog.
Our live blog, and you will know who's won the big prizes before it comes onto the TV.
We have a question, or more of a comment actually, from someone called Pop Socks on YouTube. Cute name. She said, or he, as much as I love Wicked, I think it'll get passed over for any major awards like Best Actress until For Good Part 2 comes out later this year. So we were saying that earlier. That doesn't take away from how great it is. It's just, I don't think she'll get Best Actress.
I think that's really interesting, isn't it? I think Wicked was such a big part of the conversation earlier on, several weeks ago, months ago.
Yeah.
Lots of buzz, of course, for the film. Came out at the same time as Gladiator 2, didn't it?
So it did, and that was not the Barbenheimer.
I think
they tried to be that.
Didn't they?
Glicked?
Yeah. Well done. The fact I couldn't remember it shows that it's not good like Barbenheimer.
Yeah.
I mean, and I guess Gladiator 2, there was high hopes for that. A lot of people thought we'd be seeing that in all the nominations, and we very much aren't.
Yeah, we've only got Outstanding British Film this year for Gladiator 2.
Yes.
I mean, it's not my kind of movie, but Pedro Pascal, Paul Mescal in the same movie. I think the internet's boyfriends, as so they were called, everyone loved them. So I think it is popular with people, like younger generations. But I think if you're a fan of the original, like the first one, people aren't loving it. I think it's just a good, fun movie. Maybe not the best movie, but
yeah, exactly. Like, is it an award?
No.
Movie?
I don't think so.
Isn't that interesting that actually the internet is giving it a lot of love, a lot of discussion, and there's a lot of fans, people, because look, several of the questions we have literally received in the last few minutes, all Wicked related.
Yeah.
But I think you're totally right, Pop Socks. I think it's going to get overlooked when it actually comes to handing out the golds.
Yeah. Maybe have an Oscar. I'm just thinking America Oscars, like they might go behind the musicals a bit more.
Yeah, I think it will definitely get awards. My feeling is it won't get the big ones.
Yeah.
And my feeling is we'll see it in costume, we'll see it potentially in sound. Maybe also like production design, although I tend to think The Brutalist could swing that, despite there has been AI. I mean, AI is such a big issue, clearly. Like, who's Katie chatting to? I do love that cravat. Let's have a look. Yeah. Let's see who they are and find out.
And this sort of collaboration. You obviously wrote the book.
It's what's called a happening.
Yeah.
And it's an accidental happening. The moment came along really where we happened to be sharing the same breakfast room in a hotel. He was sitting with his children on one table. I was sitting on my own because my wife doesn't get up as early as me. And I thought that I knew he's one of the rare people in children's books, rare people anyway, who writes as well for the screen as he does in a book. And I knew that.
2 for 1.
So I went over and said, maybe if I sent you this, would you look at it? Anyway, he was very nice and said, I'll look at it. And then he said, well, yes, it would be interesting. And then bit by bit it grew. And then 22 years later, I found myself standing. No, seriously, 22.
Those children are all growing up now. I know. But don't blame me.
I wish it was Frank's fault. Do you know whose fault it was? It's people like Sky who didn't come along and say,
no, just get out, Michael, get out.
It's a serious point about supporting British film and how it's so needed, whether in television or film, that we do it ourselves. We've been quite a lot with this film to France. And France has a very strong sense of its own responsibility to its film industry. And I think it's something we do need. It needs to be led by someone. I'm not mentioning any names, but it needs to be led.
Now might be a good time
to... It's really, I tell you why it's important. It's one of those things that's missing in a child's upbringing now, are really, really good films to go with the good books. Because it's not so easy. Everything here, as you know, if you're raising money, it has to come from across the pond very often, which is not easy if it's a subject which is essentially British-based. So it is important. That's why I thought I'd mention.
Perhaps as there's a change of government, might be worth taking note. Kensuke's Kingdom, then, is the name of the book for people that won't have heard it. Frank, when you read it, what were you sort of taking?
Oh, just blown away by it immediately, because it's a sort of classic adventure. You know, a little boy marooned on an island. It goes right the way back to the beginning of Robinson Crusoe or Sinbad or all those things, but it's completely fresh, completely relevant, full of heart. Loved it straight away, and it has been a long time, but it's not been frustrating because in that long time we formed a friendship, and also it feels like the film has come at the right moments because it's a film about truth and love at a time of hate and lies.
You're handing your baby over, aren't you, when it's a sort of screenplay? How do you find that, Bruce?
Well, it depends on the teacher you're handing it over to. It's the same thing as taking a child to school for the first time. What you hope is that the teacher is going to be there to carry on giving a child that confidence in herself or himself to make progress. And with a book it's the same. You're handing it on and then you've got to step back. I think what you mustn't do is think, well, actually I want it to be like that. No, I'm afraid you make the decision. There's two decisions you make. One is a bit commercial, and that is if you take the money, then it's up to the film company to choose the right writer. In our case, I chose the writer, and then the company came later, but the really good thing about it is that I was able to make a decision which I felt would work best for the book. But then you leave him. What you don't is ring him up every day and say, Frank, what are you doing dropping that character? Why are you adding that? You leave him alone and have faith in the decision you made in the first place. And it's like getting married. I've done that. I'm married for 61 years, and what you do know pretty quick afterwards, is it was a good decision. And I'm not married to him, but
Not divorced.
Not divorced.
No, not divorced. Also, it's easy to hand your baby over if your baby's 22 years old.
Just finally as well, on this being a new category for BAFTA, is it?
So important and so not before time, but brilliant that they've finally done it. I think, children of the future, how do we keep pushing them to the margin? And it's great that BAFTA have made this decision to put it front and centre for once. Yeah.
You've got to challenge children. There's no sort of speaking down to them.
It's such a thrill to be the first cohort of nominees for this. Amazing. All my favourite films are films that I watched when I was a child. And I'm sure that's true of like 3/4 of the people in this room. They were in a cinema, they saw
you know, Robin Hood or Beauty and the Beast and thought, oh, I want to do that. You know, that's the spark. It's Promethean, you know.
Have a good evening. Thank you. Best of luck tonight. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Thank you.
Nominees there in the newly created children's. We believe it's the children's scripted children's and family films. That's an interesting one, isn't it? And that one's voted for slightly differently. I think they actually have a jury of people come in and look at that one. So it's slightly different to some of the other big prizes. But as we were saying, kids stuff, you know, shouldn't be underestimated.
Yeah.
And I'm a personal fan of Wallace and Gromit, so I'm looking forward to hopefully Nick Park will be on the red carpet a bit later. Oh, hello, look at that. That's quite an unusual bag, isn't it? I wonder.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and quite an amazing outfit, actually, a very kind of gothic look. It kind of is making me think of Nosferatu. It's making me kind of think back to some of the horror. Maybe that's a nod to some of the horror.
Oh, we have Wallace and Gromit.
Let's go and see what Wallace and Gromit have to say.
A big moment. What a waistcoat. Did we tailor their outfits especially for the evening?
Especially made for the evening. They scrub up really well, don't they? Yeah.
Look, how were you guys feeling about bringing Wallace and Gromit back? I mean, it's been great to have them on Christmas Day and make our Christmas.
I mean, for me, a lot of pressure on my side, joining Nick after all the success he's had over the years, and I'm just delighted I didn't mess it up.
You didn't mess it up. I mean, were you given any sort of advice by...
Well, I mean, I've worked with Nick for literally decades, so creatively we have a very close working relationship. So I was just delighted when he invited me to direct with him on this film. And yeah, I think I've had such great fun making this film. It was a lot of work, but I'm very proud of the results.
How is it for you to bring them back? I mean, these are your original babies, aren't they, as well? Is it always lovely to kind of return to them?
It is. They are like family, really. So it's always been nice. I mean, the whole thing depends on having a good idea. You know, having a great idea that really has legs and lends itself to being a feature film, and so yeah, it all depends on that. But it's just
They are always wonderful films that you come up with, but is it faintly ridiculous at the same time that you find yourself nominated for Oscars as well? Do you find it a bit like strange?
It is, because we spend years there with a large group of people in a dark room, you know, pushing plasticine around, you know, to then come out into the real world and amongst real filmmakers. I mean, we think of ourselves as real filmmakers first and foremost, but it's great to be recognised amongst our peers. You know?
The nominations really are massive cherries on top of our cake, and it fills us with pride, not just for us, but for the characters, for the voice cast, for all our artists back at the studio. It's a real boost for everybody.
Will they be coming back again then? We're not going to have to wait quite so long, are we, for another film?
Hope they will be, but
it's all down to the idea.
It is really, and we just need to give it some time, and not too much time, but they'll be back. Watch this space.
Watch this space.
Will it be a different tuxedo for the Oscars?
Well, we'll have to see. Got certain budget restrictions.
Thank you. Take care.
With dodgy Wi-Fi on the red carpet, classic. I mean, but like they said, cherry on the cake to win awards. Wallace and Gromit, literally there in the house, and their happy little Norbot. I mean, I've definitely not seen this 17 times this week alone. I could tell you the entire script of the show. Yeah, that was Katie chatting to Nick Park and Merlin Crossingham, who of course worked on Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul, up for 3 tonight. So the big one, outstanding British film, also animated film and children and family film. So they're up for 3 tonight. I really hope they get one.
Yeah, I mean that could be fun if they won outstanding British film.
Absolutely.
That kind of curveball.
What's more British? What is more British than Wallace and Gromit? No, it's beautiful. And you can see now it's starting to get more lively now. We're starting to get more people. Oh, who has Katie got now? Let's have a listen in.
Absolutely. It's an incredible honour to be here at BAFTA. These short films are the foundation of cinema. Everybody starts with a short film before you go and move up into the upper echelons of feature films. I think it's amazing that our BAFTA can even recognise our film and other short films. So, yeah.
If we're to steer people towards your film, then it's called Rock, Paper, Scissors, am I right? Explain the premise.
It's based on a true story of Ivan, a young Ukrainian civilian, 17 years old, who gets caught up in Ukraine. And Alexander Rudinsky is playing the lead role. He gives a masterclass of a performance, and it's amazing. And yeah, so I think seeing him playing is the #1 reason to watch it.
And what has this done for you guys in terms of raising the film's profile? Has it been a sort of exciting ride to be a part of?
Absolutely, it's very exciting. It's also very humbling. I think, you know, we made the film with the intention of focusing in on the human cost of conflict in these conflict zones. And I think being able to have this recognition from BAFTA only gives this story even further legs and allows other people to get this perspective of what it looks like to be a civilian caught in a war.
Very important at this time, I guess, as well.
Yeah, absolutely. With the current geopolitical climate, I think it's now more important than ever for people to understand the quiet bravery that's taking place on these front lines.
Enjoy the evening. Very nice to meet you both.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice
Take
day.
care.
Take care.
Very bad Wi-Fi down at the South Bank. But that was Hayden Rothschild Hoosier for Rock, Paper, Scissors for a British short film.
Fantastic. It's worth kind of saying as well now, it's what are we at? It's about 3:05, isn't it? So the carpet's been underway for coming up to an hour. Oh, that's Judy Becker. So this is the production designer for The Brutalist. If you have seen that 3.5-hour extravaganza, I mean, the production design is exquisite.
Unreal.
It really is. There has been discussion about it, and not just about Brutalist. It's fair to say about AI, the use of AI. A lot of people would argue that actually AI is, we've got a new word for it, haven't we? But we actually use AI in an awful lot of things that we do. So most films do have some interaction, but The Brutalist got some specific kind of heat over it, and it was to do with their use of a Ukrainian company called Respicha, and they used it to kind of refine some of their Hungarian language dialogue editing. Very small part of the film. There's a bit where Adrian Brody reads out a letter. So it's really not, and the director, Brody Corbet, has absolutely said the performances were the lead actors alone.
Yeah,
but
he
it's
and
been a bit of heat.
Yeah, him and Felicity Jones did dialect training for, I don't know, God knows how long, but they their accents throughout the film are their own as well.
Yeah.
It's just, I think you just need to read a bit more into it.
Yeah. Now I can see Katie is chatting to Adam Pearson here. Let's listen in and then we'll tell you what he's there for. Oh no, sorry, it's not Katie. I do too. Tell a lie. Hopefully we'll grab him afterwards. So he is here tonight. He is in A Different Man. Sadly, that is not actually nominated for any awards tonight. But he is also here tonight with Sebastian Stan, who is also in A Different Man. Sebastian Stan is going to be walking the red carpet too, but he is here for The Apprentice, which he is nominated for. So hopefully we'll talk to Adam a bit later. Well, look at the Wi-Fi.
Oh,
we
no,
can't
it's
see
terrible.
that gorgeous dress. This is so frustrating. I know it's not about the clothes. We have this kind of discussion every year, don't we? But at the end of the day, everyone's dressed up to go to the red carpet. So it's nice to kind of see what people are wearing. Well, we can see it's pink. There we go, coming into focus. And looking, there's a bit of, I don't know if that's real wind or she's bought her own wind machine, but it's looking fantastic.
Oh, it's so cold.
Yeah,
I can feel the
actually
cold.
Katie and Jason said that, didn't they, at the beginning? They said it's cold here on the red carpet, and it's worth saying that the BAFTA red carpet is undercover, but it's outside. That's kind of weird to say, but they kind of build a structure. I think I'm right in saying they began building it on Friday.
Yeah.
So let's face it, we're in Britain. It may well rain. So we are prepared. If it pours down with rain, the stars will not be soaked and all their glorious outfits and makeup.
Like umbrellas.
Yeah.
Their poor assistants will be holding umbrellas.
I tell you who we haven't seen yet. Take that.
Yes. Reunion, sort of. Not really. Three of the five. No, three of the... Yeah, five. There was five.
The original five. So we should have Gary, Mark, and Howard.
Yes.
And they are here tonight because they're going to be performing during the show. And the reason they're going to be performing is because anyone that's watched Honora, which is worth saying, it's one of my big. I think it's actually my favourite awards film thus far. So I'm Team Honora. But I did make the comment as I was watching it. Gosh, is this kind of like a Take That kind of tribute film? Because they appear in it loads, their music.
Yeah.
So they are going to be performing tonight, linked in with Honora.
I think they're performing, is it Greatest Day? Oh, take me back to like car journeys with my mum and dad. Like, just take that all the time.
Yeah, we'll take that. We'll be back. And we were saying earlier, weren't we? It's a bit of a shame, really, because obviously Robbie Williams has had his own documentary out, A Better Man, confusing, A Better Man, A Different Man, but that's A Better Man. But that hasn't got a lot of love, has it, in the awards season? Oh, now Katie has somebody. Let's see who she's chatting to.
performances from yourself and such technical achievements that you had to do as well. I mean, compared to sort of other roles, when you were ahead of filming, did it feel like you were committing to a lot?
Oh, completely. I mean, Joan is such an incredible singer, incredible guitarist. So yeah, huge shoes to fill, and I was very, very nervous for that. I think it was probably the scariest thing I've done, and I say that like acknowledging I've flown in jets, but playing music with an intimate audience, portraying someone who's so loved and admired for her voice and skills. I mean, it was probably the scariest thing I've ever done.
She's such an interesting role in herself as well, isn't she? She doesn't sort of pander to anyone else. She's already found fame, so isn't going to be easily seduced by this character that comes along. How did you come to sort of see her before you went into this role?
Well, she's so strong and she's so independent, and I thought it was really brilliant the way James Mangold wanted to maintain that. I mean, if you compare a lot of our concert footage to old footage, you'll notice that Joan didn't often have her own guitar when she performed with Bob, but it was really important for Jim to maintain that because we only had so much time to show her autonomy and her strength as a solo performer, and he loved the image of her with a guitar, and I thought that was just really intelligent. I think I fought it at the time because I was like, oh, it's not authentic to what it was actually like, but I think what it provides in this film is that imagery of strength and independence, and I think he's a brilliant filmmaker, and I'm so glad he showed her with all the strength that she has.
There's so many terrific performances by actors this year. If we're to take the Best Actor category for the men, tell us why your man Timmy deserves to be Best Actor this year.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, I watched him commit his life to this role. I mean, people keep saying he had 5 years to work on it, but he was doing other absolutely massive projects at the same time, including another nominee, Dune. The time he gave this and the care and the attention that he gave this was just beautiful. And Ed Norton, too. I mean, they're both so well deserving of these nominations because of their commitment and their care with the people they were representing.
Is it a role that will stay with you? Have you sort of developed a lifelong love of that style of music now, or do you still play the guitar?
Yeah, I do still play it when I can. When I'm home with my guitar, I do. And yeah, I have a much deeper relationship with folk music than I ever did before. And with music in general, I feel like I hear things differently now. I hear music differently, and I pay more attention to acoustic guitar and how people play it, and it's such a fun instrument, and I'm so glad I can play it now.
You are truly wonderful in this role, and it's a great film. Thank you. Have a great evening. Thank you.
That was Monica Barbero, one of the stars of A Complete Unknown. She plays Joan, doesn't she? And obviously Complete Unknown up for a couple of awards today. How many is it up for totally?
I've got 6.
Yes, it's pretty good, isn't it? It's definitely, yeah, you're right, 6 nominations for A Complete Unknown. The same as Kneecap. Kneecap also has 3 nominations. Very different prospect there, the Kneecap.
Very ironic. Lots of things to talk about and unpack about Kneecap, but I'm excited for them to come on the red carpet.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll know when they're on the red carpet, because when those guys, so it's Mowgli, DJ, and honestly, they're friends of Sky News. I cannot tell you how much the entertainment team have been rooting for Kneecap. We were absolutely gutted when they didn't make the shortlist for the Oscars, but we're very glad that they are up for 6 awards tonight at the BAFTAs, and we're very much hoping they get some recognition as well tonight and some love.
And they're up for Outstanding British Film, which is interesting because it's just look up Kneecap. And they're also up for Best Film Not in the English Language because it's in Irish, so yeah, lots to like look forward to.
Absolutely, yeah, they're big advocates, aren't they, of learning and speaking the Irish language. And there's been a bit of controversy around the film as well, hasn't there? Kind of, more to do with them. I think they said if they did get an Oscar nomination and they won it, they'd be melting it down and taking it to Cash My Gold. Hopefully they won't do the same with their BAFTA if they do take one. But didn't they rub the government up the wrong way?
Yes, had to get fact checks myself. But so in November, NECAP won a discrimination case against the UK government. So they'll be paid around 14k over a decision made by Kemi Badenoch, who was then the business secretary. She basically refused them funding for, I can't remember the name, but like kind of like an arts funding. She refused it, and they basically appealed it, and they are now going to get the same amount of money that they would have got of the grant, and they're donating it to 2 youth groups, one in a unionist area of Belfast and one in the nationalist area, which is quite nice.
That's a win for everybody,
Everybody
except for Kemi, maybe. But, you know, it's a win for culture and the arts, shall we say.
Yeah, I just love how they're so smart with, like, what they... Oh, there's Joe Alwyn.
Oh, now Joe Allen he's going to be it's not performing. He's going to be presenting an award tonight, isn't he?
He was in The Brutalists,
of course,
and his character gave me the ick. He was it was awful, but he was great. But it was actually nice to see Joe Alwyn, I don't know, in acting, because he's obviously so associated as Taylor Swift's ex. But it was nice to see him do like a big serious role in a big huge film. I enjoyed his performance. He played that character very well. He was very
well cast in the role, wasn't he? Kind of without any spoilers for people who haven't seen the film, but he's a kind of very well-off young man. He's he's an entrepreneur, but maybe an entrepreneur who's got where he's got because his dad has quite a lot of money. I don't know too much about Joe Alwyn, but I can't imagine it was a massive stretch for him tonally. I think, and you're quite right. As you're watching it, you're thinking, oh yeah, I've seen him in the news a lot recently about Taylor. Obviously, what song was or was not about him on her latest album. And in fact, the whole title of her album was linked in, I think, with a WhatsApp group Joe Alwyn apparently has with his male friends.
Paul Mescal and someone else. Was it Paul Mescal?
Yeah, it was a boys group, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was all boys. But anyway, Taylor Swift won't be here tonight, sorry.
Just have to mention Taylor Swift anytime.
Some lovely outfits coming here now, isn't it? It's always nice to see something that's kind of not... I mean, I myself have gone with monochrome, black and white, but it's so nice to see people who are bold and brave with colour. Glorious. It's really nice to see.
So we've got a group of people here.
Yeah, that's the trouble, isn't it, with the male shots. However lovely they look, they don't catch the eye because black just doesn't. But we can see now. You're seeing like people are pumping through, aren't they? We're getting now. You know, we've got a good sort of hour and a quarter maybe left before people will start whizzing through. And we'll get then towards the main event, let's face it, which is obviously handing out the awards and seeing who's going to be king or queen of the BAFTAs. And particularly interesting, actually, the world will be watching this one because, of course, over in the US, they are still voting for the Oscars. So at the moment, all the people are putting in their ballots. So particularly anybody that's left it a bit late to vote, I think there's only a couple more days of voting yet left. But if you kind of see in the headlines tomorrow whichever film or actors have kind of triumphed, that will be putting it in the heads of voters who may be going to cast their vote to decide if, you know, Anora or, you know, a complete unknown or The Brutalist is going to be the big winner of the Oscars in a couple of weeks.
Usually kind of get it right. It sets the scene for Oscars. Usually there's an alignment of who wins, which will be interesting, or it could be different this year, who knows, but usually they get it right.
Well, they normally kind of go one way or the other. They normally are very matchy, or they literally just vote for a total different set of films. They just go, no, we're voting for, you know, All Quiet on the Western Front. Or
I've started to notice, well, Conclave is upping its like Oscar kind of campaign, and they've got, if you like, you can watch it probably on YouTube, but like famous actors like doing a table read. A.O. Edbury from The Bear, Brett Goldstein from Ted Lasso, B.J. Novak from Office. Who else? There's Cooper Cock from the Menendez brothers. They do like a table read of the Conclave. Very funny, and it's like that thing making Conclave sounds like a boring film, boring storyline.
Yeah, it does.
But getting like some of the biggest actors to do a dramatic reading of it is perfect. Genius. Another reason why I think Conclave should win tonight. Yeah.
You touched on an interesting point there. I mean, the campaigning alone is a story in itself. Like, we've had years, possibly more so previously, but of negative campaigning. There's been a lot of chat this year around certain films that feel they're kind of being maybe singled out and a negative campaign there. But also kind of the pushes and the attention and the money that the studios all put into this. I mean, the parties alone are a big deal, but like you're saying as well, getting people on side. yeah, it's fascinating, really, to watch.
This bloody shot looks like James Norton. I'm not sure, but it looks like James Norton.
Incognito,
Yeah.
it did. You're right. It did look like James Norton. Is he presenting?
I think he's presenting.
Yeah, I want to say he's presenting an award. To be
I have
interesting to
interviewed him
see.
before. He is a very, very lovely person.
Is he? Do you know what? I'm really glad you say that, because I hate it when I think a celebrity is going to be absolutely lovely and then they're not.
Yeah. No, he's so nice. Especially if you watch Happy Valley, because he's an awful man in that. And then he's actually just really sweet and nice in real life, and he's had a haircut.
I love that contrast. Yeah, and you're right. The fact that he's played such a horrific character and he's actually a really nice guy. Wasn't his name up and about in the James Bond chat at one point? I mean, whose name hasn't been? I'm surprised my name and your name haven't been in there. Everyone gets very carried away, and it's never anyone that we're all talking about anyway. That seems to be the only rule. But yeah, he's a fantastic actor there tonight. Yeah, presenting an award. Look at them getting rushed through now. We're working our way, because we still haven't seen a lot of the big stars.
No,
have we? We've not seen Rafe. We've not seen Timothy. We've not seen Mikey Madsen. We've not seen Demi Moore.
Oh, we have to talk about Demi Moore.
Yes, the Demi Renaissance.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah,
amazing. And I'm quite happy that, I don't like horror films, but horror's getting a lot of love as well. That and Heretic are up for lots of nominations around them. Well, Hugh Grant, but yeah, nice to see horror kind of getting some love if you like horror.
Definitely, because horror is a genre that makes a lot of money. Horror is normally, and it's not always, but can often be low budget, but can still make a heck of a lot of money in the box office. But you're quite right, when it comes to awards seasons and awards recognition, people tend to sort of cheapen it a bit, and no, it's just a horror.
Yeah.
But actually this year is really quite different. Like you've said, we've got The Substance, body horror starring Demi Moore. You've got Nosferatu, the classic kind of vampire myth. We've got, what's the other? There's 3 horrors knocking around. Heretic. There we go. Do you know why I'm not saying it? Because I can't say it. There you go. It's a good watch though. I actually watched one I watched a few nights ago, and I enjoyed it. It's not your classic horror. It's kind of almost like a theological debate about what is religion, what is the true religion, what the human use of religion. It's quite interesting. But yeah, it's a strange idea for a horror, but it works. And Grant is brilliant, as are the 2 lead actresses, who are fantastic. Oh, now who has Katie got there on the red carpet? Let's listen in.
The final cut sometimes for them, doesn't it?
There you go.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not going to.
Oh. Well, I will miss you there, Mike.
We thought we were coming in, but we weren't coming in. There's the beauty of the red carpet, wrapped up in one small soundbite.
This Wi-Fi at London South Bank.
Apparently she is going to be, I think she's going to be chatting to us on the TV. You know, that's the thing, we're multi-platform here at Sky, so you can listen to us on YouTube and
we're on TikTok.
Oh, let's go back in again. Let's go back in again and have a listen.
For those that won't have seen this, I think we've all got someone in our life that is perhaps a bit difficult, that might be sort of hard to kind of understand where they're coming from. Was that your thinking?
Well, it's one of the things the film's about. It's a complex film, I hope, and people will get a lot of different kind of things from it. People will laugh and people will cry and people will feel the pain and the joy. And all the actors are great, and at the top of the list is Marianne Jean-Baptiste, who, as you say, is absolutely brilliant, and she's nominated tonight, and I hope to hell she wins.
You'd worked with her, of course, before on Secrets and Lies. Was it always on your sort of list of, you have to get back with her again?
Oh, absolutely, but she's moved to the States, so it took a while to organise, really. But she's a joy to work with.
And was that sort of relationship sort of instantly there again? I mean, you always want to challenge your actors, don't you?
Yes, but it's always a very shared thing, you know, and we always work in great harmony, you know, otherwise it doesn't work at all.
Is it a shame for you that Marianne's sort of living stateside? Has she moved where the work is, I guess?
No, but it's her prerogative, and she's raised her kids there, and she's a very grounded person, and it hasn't affected her in any negative way at all, you know. And it's great that she's there. She's done some very interesting work in the States. But it's great that she's happy to pop over here and spend some months doing the likes of Hard Truth.
the BAFTAs. You've been nominated for a fair few over the years. Is it still for you a necessary showcase, I guess, to have this vehicle?
Well, I mean, a showcase is mainly what I'm concerned with. The audience is seeing the film. That's really all that matters. You know.
Does it help? I mean, is it hard to get independent films off the ground these days?
Very, very hard. I mean, we're battling at this moment, trying to raise enough money to make another film. It's very difficult, it really is.
You would think, though, I mean, the name Mike Leigh, you would think people would be sort of offering you whatever you want.
You would think so, but hey, there you go.
Is it because we live in this age of superhero films, and is it sort of really the biggest...
Part of my problem is I make films with, there's no script, I can't tell you what it's about, and I can't discuss casting, and don't interfere with it. And on the whole, that puts a lot of backers off.
But they should know it's in for a treat with whatever you serve.
Well, they should know, but there you go. But there are always some who will step up to the plate.
Well, I honestly cannot believe that Marianne isn't up for Best Actress for the Oscars as well, which seems a bit of a travesty.
It is awful. It's a great disappointment. It really is. There you go.
At least there's justice tonight that she's up for Best Actress here at the
Yeah,
BAFTAs.
absolutely. Good.
Thank you so much for talking to us, Mike. Thank you. Enjoy the
Thank
evening.
you.
Very nice to meet
That
you.
was Katie speaking to Mike Leigh, of course, one of our greatest directors and writers working in the industry for over 6 decades. And yeah, he's here tonight for his film Hard Truth, starring Marianne Jean-Baptiste. Look, guys, the lady of the moment who we were chatting about earlier, Pamela Anderson, as I foretold, very little makeup there, and looking gorgeous. All in white as well, which is nice to see.
Just had a thought that Sebastian Stan's going to be there. And remember there was a whole Pam and Tommy beef about she didn't give permission. And
Sebastian Stan
he played Tommy. Yeah.
You're right. And she said this is not an authentic. Yeah. And she wasn't part of it. Obviously, it's a story about her life. But yeah, you're going, that's quite interesting. That could be an interesting meeting on the red carpet, couldn't it? Pammy and Sebastian chatting together.
Yeah.
But of course, yeah, when of course she's there to support. Oh no! I thought that chap in the sunglasses looked a little bit like Jeremy Strong, but it's not Jeremy Strong. Now we're in focus.
His name's slip on my tongue. Henry.
Thank you, Amy. The director Amy is on it. It's not. Let's look him up.
He's in Crazy Rich Asians. Yeah. He was also in. I want to say The Gentleman, the film.
I love this. We know everything about him and his career.
Not his name.
Just can't give you his name. That's the problem, isn't it, with these things? Like, it's a bit of a who's who, and you've got to think very quickly.
Henry Golding, thank you, Amy.
Henry Golding. I don't know if he's presenting an award tonight. I don't think he is. I think he might just be there to support.
Who's that? Oh, we've got a lot of people.
Look at people. Can you see the people backed up there?
Oh, there's James McAvoy.
James McAvoy. He appears to have forgotten his shirt. Oh no, there we go. He has got
a wee vest on.
Yeah, it's fine because it is cold, as we were saying earlier. He might be regretting that sartorial choice.
Yeah, James McAvoy is presenting the Rising Star Award, and like we said earlier, he was the first to win it about 20 years ago or something.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's worth saying that the people up for that, there's 5 people up for the BAFTA Rising Star, and it's a particularly special award, not just because it's looking forward to the future, but also because it's voted for by the public. Yeah. So it's the only one that isn't voted for by BAFTA members. It's everyday people like me and you. So we've got Marissa Abella, Jarell Jerome, David Johnson, Mikey Madsen, and Naban Rizwan, who we chatted about earlier. They are our 5 people up for the Rising Star Award.
Interesting that Mikey is also up for Best Actress for Nora, but also Best the Rising Star. Quite interesting.
I mean,
how can you be both?
Imagine if she wins both.
Yeah.
It would literally be, because it's, I think that they define it, don't they, that it's about kind of recognising people who have already made a really big impact in film at such a young age. And obviously she's super young, super successful, and the bit really just carries the whole of Honora.
I was thinking about Jarell Jerome as well. He is amazing in When They See Us, which is on Netflix. Recommend. That's Ava DuVernay's kind of about the Central Park 5. It's very good, and he is amazing in it, and he got a lot of award buzz for that. But he also was in Moonlight, which won the Oscar a few years ago.
Wow.
So
yes, playing the young version of the lead character, like the teenage.
So he's already had great success.
And he's in, you think you don't know about someone and then you do, but actually he's in Unstoppable, which I believe is about I want to say it's a wrestler, a sportsman. I'm pretty sure it's a wrestler who was born, it's based on a true story, has only one leg, but still carries on regardless, and is very successful. So obviously really challenging physical role there. But again, so look, gosh, what diverse work. And he's on the rising star.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes you feel a bit jealous, but obviously you can only look up to this kind of talent and this amazing work. And I guess that's why those 5 people have been chosen, because their work is, I mean, they've been working non-stop.
Yeah.
Some really impressive stars there. Here we go. We're getting a bit of sparkle on the red carpet now, which is always nice to see.
You're so right, just the men in black suits. At least James McAvoy's got he's got a black vest on underneath his. So but it's funny that all the men just look the same.
It's I mean, we shouldn't really say that. That's not really fair to say, is it? We're being very unfair and anti-man, and we're not. They look fantastic.
They do.
It's just so not. Look, when you see bits of colour and bits of kind of bright, it's just the camera loves it, doesn't it? But these people know how to work the camera. And they're all actors, performers, or at least working in the realm of that. Here we go. He's got a bit of dark blue.
Nice. Something different.
Absolutely. I mean, like, obviously now we're kind of like in our final throes. We've got about an hour or so left before all the stars get in there to the ceremony. The ceremony is a couple of hours. So I think it's kind of got a slightly different running time. So we'll be watching the ceremony for like 3 hours, but then when it's cut down and put on TV, it's a couple of hours, and you get to see all the winners take home their gongs. You get to see, I don't know how long they've got actually to do their speeches this year, but there's always that
awkward
threat of getting pulled off, isn't it, if you talk too long. But it'd be interesting to see what speeches we get tonight, because that's a big part of the campaigning, actually, that we were talking about earlier. Sometimes people's speeches, when they get an award, almost becomes part of their campaign.
Yeah.
So Demi Moore,
Popcorn actress.
You know, when she won the Golden Globe for Best Actress, she literally worked that room. She gave an amazing speech, and that has become a big part of the kind of momentum towards people feeling that she's very likely to get a BAFTA, and she'll probably get the Oscar in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah. Oh, it's all happening.
Look at it, pushy and shovey. I mean, that does happen a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We get a bit of push and shove in the red carpet pit, but that's just what you have to put up with in the business.
I'm so sure that's Sebastian Stan, but he's just somewhere else on the red carpet, right?
Talking
to someone else.
No. But that's the thing. Sebastian Stan looks a bit different, because actually he put on a little bit of weight for the role of Donald Trump.
Did he?
He did. He put on about 15 pounds. So what's that in English money? It's about a stone, isn't it? Katie is talking to someone fabulous. Let's have a listen.
With Katie, who is currently finishing her jelly baby.
Wow, that would be the sugar. Great. Look, so many brilliant films have been nominated this year. How does it feel to be here at the BAFTAs, hanging out with faintly surreal thing, isn't it?
It's a surreal thing. I think, like, I never want to come to these things and act like it's normal. I just got told Pamela Anderson is knocking about somewhere.
I haven't got told that.
It's just always like a lovely surprise. Celia Imrie is right there, who I just did Thursday Murder Club with, and I adore. It's a huge honour. It's a huge honour to be able to give away an award and celebrate film with all of my peers.
And do you ever get sort of daunted when you come face to face with the sort of Demi Moores and what have you, or is that quite exciting, the prospect?
Daunted. I actually just did a project with Demi Moore.
No way.
It's called I Love Boots with Boots Riley, an amazing filmmaker. So I met her only for a day. I saw her,
take a day.
But I definitely avoided her for most of the day, and then just like slipped and I was like, so talk to me about the substance. She's wonderful, actually. She'll be around here somewhere. I hope she remembers who I am.
She will. What are your favourites for this year? If you had to sort of pick or
My favourites, Substance is insane, incredible film. Also Kneecap. I'm so gunning for that film. I had the most fun, and I've never, I could wow about it. It's just literally amazing.
as well, you know all about acting.
I'm jealous. You know how hard I had to work to get to this point.
They even go go to drama school now.
No, and they're so talented, and that's what it goes to show. It's like it's not about drama school. It's like who can connect to storytelling, and these are amazing men who connected to storytelling and managed to do something that I haven't ever seen before. So it's so much fun.
Enjoy your evening. Thank you so much. Would you like a jelly bean?
No, I'm all right, babe.
No, just stuff them. Thank you.
Look at Katie luring the celebrities in with jelly babies there. Good work, Katie. I think that's what you need, isn't it? Some sweeties or some kind of treat to get people to come into your zone. We can see Sebastian stand there on the red carpet, working his way down. Hopefully he'll get to us eventually. We were just chattering, weren't we? Sorry, before we spoke there to Naomi Ackie, who Katie was chatting to, who's she is a BAFTA winner. She was also nominated as Rising Star a couple of years ago, and she's there today to present an award. But we were just chattering, weren't we? I think Sebastian Stan, I think he said he put on about £15 to the role of Donald Trump. He said he drank lots of Coca-Cola. So it's kind of method acting, because I think President Trump, I think he does drink quite a lot of Coke, and he's a fan of fast food, isn't he?
Yeah. It's not a bad way to put on some weight, just drink lots of Coke and have some McDonald's or whatever it is.
Absolutely. So he's obviously up for Best Actor. Really fantastic film, actually. And he definitely, he looks very different in the film, doesn't he? Which is, I think, why when we saw him, we were like, hang on, is that Sebastian?
I think he is one of those actors that really goes into his roles. Oh, Katie's talking to somebody again.
Here we go, back to Katie on the carpet.
On that basis, did it sort of ramp up the pressure of how do we tell this with a pacey film?
Well, I sort of, when I read the book, I think it was just coming out, so it all felt like unknown territory. And we just had fun with it from the beginning. It was a really, really happy experience for me, from the beginning. It was a bit of a balance between thriller and drama, but essentially it was just a pleasure to do from the beginning.
It's the beauty of what you can achieve with filmmaking as well, isn't it? It's the process as well, it's sort of straightforward storytelling, isn't it?
Well,
you managed to kind of keep the pace of it and the suspense.
Well, I think Robert's a fantastic thriller writer. He's a great political thriller writer, and that's what this was. It's a great political thriller, but set in an arena that we didn't know, which made it all fresh. So, it was that, and then, of course, it helped having Edward Berger directing, which did make a difference.
Presumably you guys were working on this before Edward had his run of...
We were developing this while Edward was shooting All Quiet, and then we were shooting Conclave when he was doing the award season for All Quiet, so they were sort of happening at the same time all the way through. Yeah.
So you've actually sort of even found the time to kind of get with focus on this.
I don't know how he did it, I really don't. He must have been exhausted, it was non-stop for him.
Tell us about the acting talent in this and why they so rightly are nominated. Were you really impressed with what they achieved?
We were just incredibly happy with that. Obviously we got Ray first and then sort of built the cast around that, but we needed, because all of those cardinals had to have a distinctive personality that the audience could get very quickly, and we just, we got some incredible actors. Stanley's amazing, Don's amazing, Lucian, Carlos was fantastic, Benita, of course, first film, and then Isabella, who had to make Sister Agnes work with so few lines, she works mainly with silence. So it was an incredible cast.
It's a very good film. Best of luck tonight.
Can I bring...
Look, we can see Marianne Jean-Baptiste there looking glorious on the red carpet. She is up for Best Actress tonight for her performance in Hard Truths, which has been getting so much love, but sadly not being recognised really that much in all that. It's not up for Best Film at the Oscars. She's not up for Best Actress, but by all means, everyone is saying it's a fantastic performance. And it was Mike Leigh who we were chatting to earlier on the red carpet, and he, of course, that's his film, Hard Truths, so with his star, Marianne there. So a lot of people will be rooting for her tonight, I think, at the awards season, and hoping that she can take a BAFTA. Worth saying that she has been nominated previously for Secrets and Lies, for Best Supporting.
But she also worked on Mike Leigh with.
Yes, and of course Secret and Lies, that's one of his really big films. That's kind of one. Happy Go Lucky, a lot of people will know, but prior to that, Secrets and Lies, massive film, kind of a real game changer, and obviously Mike Leigh, one of our most recognised British filmmakers. So how appropriate that we're chatting to him on the red carpet, and hopefully we'll talk to Marianne as well. It's interesting, I didn't actually realise she lived in America. I didn't realise that she was not based. I've seen her in so much American stuff, it makes sense, but yeah, she's obviously not here in the UK. But it's it's interesting to be nominated, obviously, for Best Actress as one of our great actresses.
Yeah.
So we can see Katie chatting to someone there. Sadly, the line is so bad that other than telling it's a man and he has glasses on, we can't say much. I mean, I love the way that Wi-Fi has so much
power.
Our lives are ruled by Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's not just me at home having problems with the Wi-Fi. You know, and actually, to be fair, previous years when I'm at BAFTAs and I'm at the red carpet and I'm in the media room, the Wi-Fi has always been quite bad.
Notoriously.
Yeah.
Is Warwick Davis?
Yeah, Warwick. Of course, he's being recognised tonight. He is getting a big fellowship prize. He's going to be awarded. I mean, Warwick Davis, he's just been there always, hasn't he? You look back to Willow, and then he has just been in so many films. We've then seen him in comedies. We've seen him in kind of classics. It's fantastic to see him honoured today. And obviously it's been quite a sad year for him because he lost his wife quite several months back. So to see him kind of honoured by the BAFTA members is fantastic. Right, so let's go and see if we can see who Katie is chatting to now.
Just wonderful performance, and I'm so happy that she's recognised at the BAFTAs and the Oscars. You know, she's been doing this for a long time. She's never had this type of recognition. 5 years here, she so deserves it, you know, so it's wonderful.
What were her scenes like in particular to film? Were they quite sort of special?
Very beautiful, because she was maybe there for 2-3 weeks, dipping in and out, and for 3 weeks, for a day here and for a day there. And with her, I mean, she's so well liked. She's royalty in Italy. She's, you know, she has two very famous parents, and yet created a really big space around. People really love her and respect her. When she comes, the tone in the room just changes. Not to something like everyone so reveres her.
Rightly so. She's a great actress. And Rafe, just finally as well. What is it that sell us your leading man? Why he deserves to walk away with Best Actor?
Well, Rafe is so wonderful because the role is very internal. He thinks a lot and he feels a lot. He doesn't speak that much. Other people speak much louder, much more, but he works it. He takes us on this journey. The entire is all him. Him, his perspective, his eyes, what he thinks, what he sees, without saying anything. And he never loses his audience. He always keeps it, grabs it, and takes us with him. So that's very difficult to achieve, and only Rafe could have done it.
Congratulations on all the nominations. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
So that's Edward Berger there. He's the director of Conclave, the most nominated film at tonight's BAFTAs.
Yeah, earlier on she spoke to Peter Straw. I cannot pronounce his second name. But he was the writer, and Conclave's actually from a book as well. So he adapted the book, I think.
By Robert Harris. Was a 2016 novel, big hit. People loved it. And obviously now... here we go. Katie is speaking to Adam Pearson. Let's listen in.
Work with him.
He's remarkable. He's world class at what he does, and I think everyone knows it now. Right, he's always been this good, but now he's sort of had a chance to spread his wings a bit and had 2 cracking films this year. He's a dude. He's like one of my good friends now. I was blessed and honoured to work with him. My philosophy with acting has always been find people who already do it well and just get in their way. Just follow them, learn by osmosis, and hopefully one day I'll get there. So,
for those that won't have actually seen the film, for you this was an important one because it opens a dialogue, I guess, doesn't it, with people to sort of think about walking other people's shoes.
Yeah, absolutely, but it was also a very different character for me. Previously in Under the Skin and Aaron Schimberg, our director's previous film, Changed Your Life, I'd played quite shy, retiring characters. And those performances are sort of thrown under the radar a bit because people assume, oh, if he's like that in real life, that must be who he actually is, whereas I'm not. So now I've done like the whole gregarious character of Oswald. As an actor, people now need to put me somewhere, right? They need to do something with me. Am I myself in this one? Does that mean I was good in those ones? Like, what can you say now? I don't know. I've earned my stripes, done my job, and I belong. at the BAFTAs.
You absolutely belong at the BAFTAs. It's a terrific film. Very nice to meet you. Thank you.
You take care, all right?
Take care. Bye.
Demi Pearson there. He is star of A Different Man, in which he stars with Sebastian Stan. Not up for awards tonight, but he is walking the red carpet, and we can see Sebastian Stan chattering away to other people on the red carpet, and we're hopeful.
As well.
Is Adam presenting? Yeah, no, fantastic. And actually, he's launching a great big campaign next week about improving visibility on screen for people with differences. And about time too, I say. So it's fantastic to see him there. And as he quite rightly said, he absolutely has a place at the BAFTAs. Fantastic actor. If you've not seen any of his work, check some of it out. And yeah, I'm sad actually that A Different Man isn't up for any BAFTAs tonight. But it's still a good film and worth watching. And that's a problem, isn't it? I guess there's only so many films that can make it onto the shortlist.
I think you could kind of hear him as well talking about his friendship with Sebastian Stan. I think that's what he was referring to at the start when the Wi-Fi wasn't glitching. But yeah, talking about how he loves him.
Oh, Katie's holding some more people with their jelly beans. Let's have a listen.
Look, tell us firstly why it was such a special project to work on. It's a really interesting story. For those who haven't seen it, it's about the importance of art programmes and how they can help transform people's lives, I guess.
Yeah. What's that? Over here? Over here? Okay.
That's Jason, our producer, just
micromanaging. Let's use it. I thought it was like, where are my hands? What am I doing with my hands? I think one of the things it's been 9 years since we started on this project, and the things that we felt about it in terms of initial instincts only deepened with time. And I think the first thing we noticed was just seeing the inherent joy in the process that was inside of this prison, the amount of connection, care, love, healing, despite its environment. Signals, I think, to me that if that can happen inside one of the most dangerous places in the world, then it can and surely happen for all of us out here. And that we need to create spaces where these ideas can multiply, programs like this can multiply. And so, yeah, I love it. I love these men. I love this story.
Was it one of the very first thoughts that you had that it had to include actors that had been on programs like this? Was that always going to be the case?
It was a very early, from the earliest conceptions, that was always there, that they were such dynamic people and also so incredibly talented. They had spent a lot of time acting on stage. But then also, just from the beginning, it was clear that they were the lifeblood of the movie. And who they were as people and what they had done was the thing that made us want to do the movie and really change us as people. And so it always only felt right that they would be part of that movie, and that's what I think a large part of what translates to how people feel about the movie. And
in a way, when you're working with that sort of raw talent, do you get something that's a lot sort of different to what you would with someone from drama school?
I think the power of how this movie was built was in that unique alchemy of bringing established actors from the outside, like Coleman Domingo and Paul Racy, who could both come in and be teachers and students at the same time. And then these men with lived experience from this exact program could also offer their own lessons and have much to learn. There's something about how those two realities dance together that is really thrilling and exciting to have it, captured on camera.
Coleman Domingo has to be one of the finest actors working today, is he not? I mean, I don't want him to say more than I agree, really.
I agree.
For you, what does he bring to this? It's almost sort of understated. There's so much going on in his head as well, isn't there?
It's such a beautiful and specific, but also subtle role that he plays. And I think what he brings to it, the fullness of what he brings to the movie, is also the fullness of what he brought to our project. He really came on board as a partner, as a storyteller with us, as a producer. And the richness that he brings onto the screen is what he brought to set every day. And it's really mind-blowing.
One of the first conversations Coleman and I had about shaping his performance, he was like, I want my performance to stand on three things. I want it to be honest, I want it to be elegant, and I want it to be tender. And I think those three things are absolutely what he delivered.
Why is Coleman not here? Has there been a visa issue? Am I right?
No. Coleman's here. Coleman's here. But I think what you might have heard which is actually very tragic, is that two of our fellow nominees for Sing Sing, Clarence Macklin, who stars opposite Coleman, and the real John Divine G. Whitfield, who Coleman portrays, their visas were denied to enter the country because they had served prison time. And which goes against the grain of everything this movie stands for, and shows that people have the capacity to grow and to come back into their communities when they leave prison and to lift us all up. And these two particular men have such courage, vulnerability, integrity, their values, and they're not here tonight, and they should be. It's the stories about them. It was built with them, and so we're particularly gutted about that, and hope that if their absence can do anything, it can signal to all of us that that's just not right, and it can be done better.
Thank you. It is a wonderful film. Really nice to meet you both. Thank you. Thanks.
Yes, that was Katie chatting to Clint Bentley and Greg Quaidar, who are the writers behind Sing Sing, up for 3 awards tonight.
Yes, sounds like a great film. I've unfortunately not seen it, but I've got friends that have, and they are obsessed with it. It follows like kind of a rehabilitation, real life story program about like I think helping inmates kind of get into performing arts and like rehabilitation, and it actually stars former prisoners. And like he was just saying, 2 of the stars, I only caught one of their names, Clarence Macklin. He and one of his fellow actors, well, former inmate actor, they have been denied entry to the UK because of their previous convictions, and they were just saying how that kind of goes against the grain of what the whole movie is about.
Yeah, rehabilitation.
Yeah.
And
so yeah, quite an interesting one, but yeah.
Fascinating. But it's interesting there that obviously this one of the stars of the film, Coleman Domingo, apparently he is there on the red carpet. We've not seen him yet. Fingers crossed we get to chat to him. But he is obviously up for Best Lead Actor tonight. It'd be nice if he gets a BAFTA recognition, because actually he's been nominated previously for Rustin.
Yeah.
Just last year, actually. Gosh, he's prolific, isn't he? He's a busy man.
And people you might know him from Euphoria.
Of course.
Yeah, he's great in that. And him and Zendaya's like whole like dynamic together is like unmatched. So yeah, it'd be nice to see him win. That could be a good one as well.
Yeah.
Well, I quite like someone like upsetting what everyone thinks is going to win.
Totally.
If he gets it, that'd be nice.
It is nice, and I think that doesn't happen enough, does it, in awards, in my opinion? Like when you get someone who wins who you're just not expecting to, and then you're like, oh. And also when it can shine a light on, like we're saying, Sing Sing. Possibly a lot of people won't have seen that. It's not one that, like Wicked and Brutalist. You're not going to be seeing it everywhere. But does that make it less worth seeing? No, it doesn't. More worth seeing, actually, for my money. So, I'd love to see Coleman Domingo take home the prize. I'm not sure he will, sadly, but definitely nothing to do with his outstanding performance. And I think Gemma Peplow did an interview with some of the actors, and she said it was an absolutely fantastic film. So definitely Google her article if you want to know more about it. And if, like me, you haven't actually got around to seeing it.
And when Katie was talking to them, we seen Leo Woodall on the red carpet.
Leo is on the carpet,
so he's
everyone.
Here, and Megan, I'm going to not pronounce her name again, Fahey? Megan Fahey, his girlfriend, but she was in The White Lotus last year, and that's where they met. And yeah, they were both on the red carpet, not a photo together, but she was with a group of people, and he's there. So yeah, we'll see more of them.
And of course, in The White Lotus that they both starred in, they weren't together in the show, were they? They were other people's partners within the show. He was several people's partners.
Yes.
You haven't watched that, you need to. It's so quite the show. And of course, we've got The White Lotus. We're just about to get the next season coming up.
Is it today? Is it today? I think it's today it comes out.
Oh, hello. It's going to be a busy night. So, gosh, how many people would be rolling home from late night BAFTAs parties to watch The White Lotus?
I know. I can't wait. That's just a...
No, it's a wonderful dance from PR that we can see there on our screen, because it's one of those bubbles now. I imagine the next push on the red carpet, it's 10 to 4 now.
Nearly done.
I think for the next half an hour, they will be pushing the stars through, and we'll be seeing lots of famous faces, famous names. Obviously, as closer it gets to bums on seats time, the less time they have to talk. So they really do whack through towards the end. But it's interesting tonight seeing some of those stars walking the carpet. Everyone seems in quite good spirits. It seems quite buzzy. Quite a lot going on. Yeah. I'm intrigued to see what kind of show it is, especially with Take That performing. I think
that's so it's not random because it makes sense.
It's retro.
Yeah, I just Take That. It's a good one, but we'll see.
Well, whatever happens, the BAFTA always put on a good party, don't they? The BAFTA team. I think we're definitely going to be seeing some interesting and fun things tonight. David Tennant, as we've said, never fails to entertain. No. As your fellow Scot, like you said, showing a bit of love there for him. I mean, I'm still. I sort of did little stuff. I mean, if anyone could see our table, I've got pieces of paper everywhere because it's just how I work. But for me, I kind of put little signs next to the people. I think Adrian Brody.
I think he is won. He won. I think he's won the Oscar at least. Maybe not. I like the idea of the BAFTAs causing a bit of upset, but I think within the first 5 minutes of the Brutalist, he won. Yeah. There's that scene outside the train, and he's hugging his cousin. Yes. And I was like, he's won. Like it was amazing. It's great. True.
Award ceremonies do love it in a film if you've got a bit of a snotty cry, and it's not a spoiler to say. I mean, he covers every emotion in this film, and it's a standout performance. It really is.
I'm kind of like, I always want the underdog to win, but I do think the Brutalist is going to win. If not here, they'll win at the Oscars.
It's interesting. Sure. It wasn't actually written for him, that part. Was it not? After watching it, I don't think you can really imagine anyone but Adrian Brody in it. I certainly couldn't. But it definitely, I think other actors, as always, I love those stories of the actors that went up for a part and didn't get it. It offered to several other people. He ends up doing it. And of course, films take years to make. Let's not forget that. Films take a lot of love. In fact, that's kind of, The Brutalist is almost, it's kind of a kind of an homage to the craft of architecture, but equally it's kind of that homage to filmmaking. This took years to make. So it's interesting that Brady Corbet has finally got this to air. There we go, Warwick Davies here tonight. He's, of course, being honoured with a special award. And who's Katie talking to?
You actually sort of find yourself nominated by your peers?
Oh, I was just saying actually that, of course this is all very touching and it's icing on the cake, but we're just thrilled the movie exists. It took so long to get it off the ground, and it's I'm thrilled that it's done.
You guys wrote it together. I mean, did it sort of become evident to you when you were writing it? It might be quite hard to get the funding.
Yes, it was. We knew.
We knew it would be hard.
Almost impossible, but we just wanted the story to be this big, this expansive and epic, and it's what we wanted to make. So we figured we would just dig our heels in and just try and make it happen, no matter what.
I asked, was Adrian always the actor that you had in mind for this?
I mean, he was always one of the people on a very short list because of his background. I mean, knew that his, family came from Hungary, and it's a very difficult language, and just for the accent to pull it off and not sound like Bela Lugosi is really a challenge. So I'm thrilled he said yes.
Can I ask just briefly about AI as well? Because I actually had to go on the technology because they made it possible for me to speak Lithuanian.
Sure.
And it does bring home that it isn't something we should all fear so much, is it? It is going to really help people's jobs.
It's a tool, and listen, it like any tool, it can be used ethically or unethically. We used it ethically. Our collaborators, at Respeecher, our very ethical company based out of Kiev, Ukraine, and I think that for us, representation is paramount, and we wanted Hungarian viewers to be able to watch the film and not have a moment of doubt that these characters are from where you say they are.
You said something wonderful in your Globes acceptance speech about trusting the filmmaker that they with their vision. Do you stand by that? It's a wonderful masterpiece that you've created.
No. I mean, listen. I think that I think that so many filmmakers, the agony that they go through in a post-production process, wondering if someone is gonna make an exquisite corpse of their baby. I think that's a terrible feeling, and it's not a very creative way to work. So I think that once you say, okay, we're making your movie, at that point you just need to support the filmmaker. It's a very, very difficult job, and it is a very different thing to make something than it is to watch something. It's a very different thing to write something than it is to read something. These things are not equivalent. So I don't particularly want 26 strangers weighing in on something that I've worked on, for many, many years.
This is the result you get.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Have a great night.
Thank you, you too.
It's Katie there speaking to Brady Corbet, of course, the director of The Brutalist, and Mona Fastvolt, who's a producer of the film, but also his partner in real life. It's his other half. So talk about, taking your work home, working together very closely for that film.
They are both up for Best Screenplay as well, which is quite nice. A little married couple winning together. That'd be nice.
Absolutely. It was up for 9 awards overall, isn't it? So
yes. It's got 10 Oscar noms and 9 at the BAFTAs. So it's kind of like that and The Brutalist The Brutalist Conclave have swapped places for.
Yeah. I tend to think, maybe they'll share, but I always think it's often a sweep, isn't it? There's one film that tends to kind of nail it. It'll either be a Brutalist sweep or a Conclave sweep. I keep swapping of which ones I think. This is the BAFTAs, so maybe I'll say, like you, Conclave sweep. It's also a really good film. Also, hot off the press from the red carpet, we've got Debbie Rigard at the red carpet for us as well, chatting to people for radio. She tells me that Good News Entertainment team, Kneecap are there. They're working the red carpet, but I'm pretty sure that they may only be speaking with Irish language outlets. I've told Debbie to go over and have a chat in Irish, but whether she will or not, I do not know. But it's interesting to see that they are there.
Balaclava, waving Irish flag.
Absolutely.
Looking at a picture now.
He'll be nice and warm, won't he? Is that DJ? I can't
remember.
I can see a picture of them chatting to people, and definitely he will be one of the warmest people on the red carpet, and a gorgeous orange suit as well, it does have to be said. But thank goodness they're there. It'd be interesting to see if they take many of the prizes. Oh, hello. Who have we got here? Will Poulter.
I saw him once in Brixton.
Did you?
Just in a bar, and it was when I first moved to London, and he was just there,
just minding his own business.
I recognised him. It was like 7 years ago, but he's got quite a distinctive. He had his head shaved, was quite a distinctive face, and I was like, I know him from somewhere. Can't remember what he'd been in, but.
He's looking very sparkly tonight, actually, like as in a glint in his eyes, sparkly. He's looking great.
Yeah.
I always think of Black Mirror when I think of Will Poulter.
Yes.
For some reason, I don't know why that role in particular sticks in my head.
What was Katie talking to?
Here we go. One of the stars of Anora. Let's go. Oh, no, hang on. We were getting a nice close-up of it. I'm sure we are going to be talking to him. We're just teasing you there with the blurry shots. He is one of the big stars of Anora. He plays the love interest of Anora. There's one of our nominees, Yuri. So Yuri is up for
supporting
actor. He's also up for an Oscar. Just worth saying. Yuri Borisov there. Up for Best Supporting Actor. Shall we go in? And is Katie talking to them? I think she's just doing like chitter-chatter, but I think she will be definitely talking to them later. Look at them. They're having a brilliant time. And as I've said, Nora, I think, is my personal favourite film. I fancy its chances as well across the awards.
It's got 7 in total. I've got here, it's Best Film, Best Director, Best Actress, and Best Actor in a Supporting Role. There's a few more.
So many.
Yeah, it's probably like it's up in the main categories anyway. But yeah.
Great. We're going to be, so the reason that we're kind of checking in is because Katie's going to be talking to those guys live on TV. So hopefully we'll cut to that and you'll be able to hear what they've got to tell us. It's a really accomplished performance actually by everybody in that film.
This is Yuri's international kind of breakthrough role. He's a Russian actor and he's very big in Russia. And yeah, this is like kind of big international breakthrough role. And he is, I think he's the first Russian to be nominated at the Oscars for the same role, for the same performance, but in over 4 decades.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Good stat.
Good
Molly.
stat,
I'm loving that stat.
Yeah. And the only other person was Mikhail Baryshnikov, who was nominated in 1977 for his role in The Turning Point. So yeah, exciting time.
Obviously, we've not seen Mikey Madison, who is the kind of the big star of Anora there, but she will be there, no doubt. I have no doubts that she'll be there walking the carpet at some point, but she is not with her other 2 co-stars there of Anora walking the carpet at the moment. I think probably over the last few weeks, I'd say the chances of Anora taking home gongs has really gone up. I feel like it's stepping in. Cynthia Erivo is there.
It's really nice not to see her, because obviously when the campaign for Wicked, they were all wearing, like, Ariana was in pink, she was in green. It's nice to see her in white, or cream even. Oh, she looks lovely.
Look at that dress. I mean, it's a sculpture, isn't it? It's not just a dress, it's a sculpture. And her nails, I know she gets really bored of people saying, but you can't help but notice them because they are fantastic.
They're
they
so
really
long.
are.
Oh, here's Katie.
Are we going to listen in now? And Katie chatting to 2 of the big stars of Honora there on the red carpet.
Story of a stripper who falls in love with the son of a Russian oligarch. It is a brilliant piece of filmmaking, and I'm joined by two of the cast members here. Look, Honora, when you were working on it, did it feel like you were going to get as much attention as you've got tonight? What's this been like, this whole process of being nominated for awards?
The process was amazing, incredible, and very interesting. This crazy ride is also very interesting and amazing. Everything that connects us with Honora is great, really, and we are very grateful to hold this.
To be nominated for Best Supporting, how do you feel to be in that category?
A little bit confusing, because I know that it's a lot of very good actors in our team, you know, like Mark, for example, and Karen and Vacha, and for me it's a work of ensemble, because we all together create this film. But anyway, I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy about this. And
the trouble is, you all did too many good performances. It was hard to just choose one or two of you. Mikey, though, Mikey Madison, who's up for Best Actress, she's so young to be in that category and sort of leading up against these leading figures within the industry. What, in your eyes, makes her such a good actress? Why does she deserve the credit?
Firstly, she's an amazing human, because I think to be a good actor, you have to be a good human, and she really cares about everything, about her partners, about the script, about the story, about director, and I think it's her. Oh, I can't say secret, because if it's secret, I did something very bad, but it's her, you know, super skill like a person.
Was she a great scene partner to have?
What do you say?
Was she great to act alongside?
Не понимаю.
Did you enjoy acting alongside Mikey?
Как с ней было проходить этот путь?
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, it was. We spend all our time together when during holidays, before work day, after work day, and it was. I don't know where. She's like my sister. I love Mikey. I don't know. She's so kind and so open. I don't know. I'm happy that she in my life.
For those that won't have seen it, it descends into sort of carnage and chaos, the film. Was it quite a lot of fun, particularly for you, I guess, to be so out of control? Do people look at you differently now?
No, it's not true. I was under the control of Sean. It's just not a control in general. It's like his, you know, this special atmosphere when you can do everything you want, you can do every suggestion, but anyway, you know that Sean know where are we going right now, and he know what he wants. Yeah, and because it was very easy to improvise or do something, because you know that Sean beside you, and he will help anytime.
Thank you very much for talking to us. Enjoy the evening. Have a great night. Good luck with Honora. It's a fantastic film.
That's Katie talking to two of the big stars of Honora, Mark Idleshine, 22.
He looks like he's having the best time.
I love Swasowski on his top. He looks awesome. And then Yuri Borisov, who is up for Best Support Actor. Oh, Camila Cabello.
Yeah.
She's presenting an award tonight. Wow, look at that dress.
I know.
It's kind of like a spider web, isn't it? Like a beautiful diamond spider.
She looks lovely. I'm still thinking about Cynthia Erivo. Oh, and when Katie was interviewing the guys from Honora there, Take That were on the red carpet.
Take That are in the house, everybody.
Yeah. I was just saying, it doesn't look like they've aged, but also they really have. So I don't know, it's weird. Oh, they look so happy to be there. It's cute.
It's true. They're putting on a show tonight. They're performing, aren't they? During the ceremony, we'll see them at some point. I'm trying to remember where the performances were last week. I always feel it's like quite early on, but I might be wrong.
Oh, Katie's with
now. Oh, Katie has
the
Coleman Domingo. Let's talk to him.
Be a part of as well, because it's for those that won't have seen it, it's about the sort of arts program within a New York prison, isn't it? And was it always that you were going to have real actors from the program that were a part of it?
Not from the beginning, but as we started to develop the script, Greg had the brilliant idea. He said, well, some of the members, we can get them to audition for some of the roles, because we were basing it on these members. I said, well, I think that's a terrific idea. So they all actually sent auditions. They went into audition as professional actors, and they booked the roles. So the more it started to happen, it just made more sense that 90% of our cast were formerly incarcerated men.
For you as an actor, did they actually bring something that's actually more authentic out of you?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's why I felt like I had to go to a place that was a bit more authentic from my own experience just as a human being. I couldn't sort of like put on the gloss of performance. I had to be as raw and as natural as they were, because that's where we were coming from, and that's how they were accessing the work. So I didn't want to stand out either, you know, as like, oh, actor, formerly incarcerated men actors. I'm like, no, I got to blend in with these guys. And so even when it comes to choices of like growing my facial hair out and just to be a bit more rugged, no makeup, because I feel like I need to be a bit more unmasked as they were.
While it is wonderful having you here, there's a few people that actually haven't actually got the visas to come over as well. Can you tell us about the sort of upset of that?
Well, of course. Well, you know, that's the systems that are at play, and hopefully that maybe this will start to change things, to ask, you know, what happens if a person has done their time, done their service, how much longer can that stain last on their travel or their access? I think we have to think about that. Like we were thinking about that in Los Angeles when it comes to the firefighters that were fighting the fires were incarcerated men. And it's like these men should be compensated for their work, and they should also have pathways to become a firefighter when they're out. So maybe it's this also, I always look at the positive in these ways. Yes, it's sad that my colleagues can't be with me today, but hopefully maybe the attention can actually shed a light on this, and maybe can make some changes because of it.
Is this film and the concept of this arts programme, do you think it highlights just the need and the importance of thinking about where we sort of incorporate acting into real life as well, I guess?
I think so, and I feel like it's not only acting, but hopefully it's also gardening and caring for animals, and you know, giving people tools. And I feel like it's not just it's not. What are all they have is time when they're in prison, and you want to give people something to do that's productive, that can do some work, because when they come out, what kind of person would you like them to be? So from that's what I think is like, well, you want to give people tools and access, and I feel like I know that theater saves lives, and they found theater to be this thing that really helped them cling on to their humanity, and I think we need more programs like this, whatever it's useful. I know that there's cinema programs and things like that. We need more programs to just make people feel in touch with their humanity.
For some people, it's about sort of giving the opportunity in the first place, isn't it?
Before they even got there. Many of my castmates say, if I had a program like this, if I had theater, if I had art, if I had another way to express myself when I was a child, maybe, just maybe, my life would be different.
This is a wonderful film, and you are truly magnificent in it. Really nice to meet you, Coleman. Thank you. Have a brilliant evening.
Coleman Domingo there, chatting to Katie on the red carpet. Of course, Sing Sing up for 3 awards tonight. I am loving that he accessorised his gloves with studs, but still has his shirt open, so he's probably a bit chilly, but looking awesome. We have seen some real stars arrive on the red carpet, haven't we? Well, that interview has been happening. So who have we seen?
Timothy Chalamet.
Timmy Chalamet is here.
Yes. Who else have we seen? I feel like my mind's just Timmy right now.
Yeah, that's true. He did kind of arrive. He's in black. He's got a lovely necklace on, sporting a little bit of facial hair. We could not see Kylie Jenner in the wings, could we?
But she was at the Berlin premiere earlier in the week, so she might be in the audience tonight, which everybody loves to see. I'll be looking, when I'm watching it, that's what I'll be looking for. Like just Timmy and Kaylee.
Try to spot her.
Try to spot her.
That's what you're going to be looking for.
Sebastian Stan's on right now.
Yes, getting his photographs done. Jeremy Strong is here.
Great choice of coat.
He is just, I mean, and anyone that doesn't know Jeremy Strong's work, number one, why haven't you watched Succession? Go and watch it now. But he is a method actor, isn't he? It's fair to say. In fact, he's got a bit of heat, I think, in the business over the years, because he really does take his role so seriously, and he really kind of goes full on method, maybe drives some of his other fellow actors a bit up the wall, but everyone agrees he is an absolutely stellar actor. And he, of course, is in The Apprentice opposite Sebastian Stan. He plays, based on a real life character, of course, because it's based on kind of the early days of young businessman Donald Trump, who of course now in the US, very timely, is just into his first few weeks of his second term as president of the United States. But in the film, Jeremy Strong, who we can see there, he plays young Donald's lawyer, Roy, and it's quite a part. He's quite a strong character, but he plays it really, really nicely. And as we were saying earlier, we haven't seen Kieran Culkin yet, but he will be here later.
He is on the list to be there. Oh, they're going to be reunion.
Sebastian Stan and Jeremy Strong having a lovely photo together. Both looking lovely, both looking very different. It's interesting. I love that in a film where they look totally different when they're in the film. I mean, not Demi Moore different, as in the substance, where boy does she look different for part of the film. But yes, they are posing there together before going in. Both of those guys up in the main acting categories.
Jeremy for Best Supporting and Sebastian's for Best Actor.
Absolutely, and really, really stellar performances from them both. I'm nearly all the way through the film. Didn't have quite enough time to finish it, but I am definitely returning to it and will be watching it. Some
Orlando
really nice
Bloom.
Performances. Orlando Bloom. Now I think he's presenting an award.
Yeah, he's not nominated. He's not done. I've not seen him in anything in a while, to be honest. But I could be missing something.
No,
please tell me.
No, you're right. I think I've mainly seen him linked to sort of Katy Perry lately and various stories around her and what she's up to. And obviously she's had lots of new music out, been doing lots of things. And she is obviously his other half. But yeah, nice to see Orlando Bloom up there working the red carpet.
It's presenting, yes.
There's a good lineup of presenters this year.
Yeah,
isn't there?
I'm really looking forward to seeing Adam Scott for Severance. Well, no, not for Severance, but he's from Severance. You need to watch that. And then Anna Kendrick again. Who else? Leo Woodall. Everyone loves him. I mean, Star Wars fans. Mark Hamill, Pamela Anderson. Will Sharp, another
yes, of course,
White Lotus
White Lotus alumni.
Yes, we've got two of them. Leo Woodall and Will Sharp were in the same season.
I love that. But the things always grouped together because actually, if you look at the Rising Star Awards, 3 of the 5 have all been and starred in industry. Another great TV. I know we're not here to talk about TV today. We're here to talk about film, but they are fantastic.
Yeah, BAFTA TV is in like May time, so we have all of that. Look forward
We've
to
got a little bit of time, haven't we, to prep. We can see there on the screens, that's one of the stars of The Brutalist. So it's very different, actually, in real life than she does in the role, doesn't she?
That's, she plays the niece.
Yes,
niece.
Who doesn't speak for a lot of the film.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can see her there having her photos done.
Her dress is nice as well. It's exciting.
And you can hear all the shouting on the red carpet, which will only get more frenzy.
There's
Ariana Grande in the wings.
Yes, she's up for Best Supporting as well. And Cynthia's up for Best Actress. It's 4:15. It must nearly be starting soon.
Yes.
Oh, Katie's with Jesse Eisenberg.
Form of storytelling on your part. 2 cousins going on a road trip together. Where did the idea come from in the first place, I guess?
Thank you so much. I was trying to adapt a short story I wrote in Tablet magazine about these two similar characters going to Mongolia together. And the script was not going well, and then an ad came on the internet for Holocaust tours with lunch, and I clicked on the ad with lunch. And so I clicked on the ad, and it took me to basically, essentially, middle/upper middle class English-speaking tour of Holocaust sites. And I just thought it's such a fascinating phenomenon. This idea that we want to tour historical sites of trauma, but at the same time kind of maintain the creature comforts of staying in a nice hotel and taking an air-conditioned bus, maybe sitting first class in a train on the way to Auschwitz. The irony of that is not lost on me, and so I thought it'd be an interesting story.
Tell us, had you worked with Kieran Culkin before as well? Did you always have him in mind when you were writing this?
No, I really had. I didn't have anybody in mind, and then after I finished the script, I thought I would play it because it's, a fun part. But I had met Kieran at an audition for a movie in 2008, and he came into the audition. I already had the part, but he came into the audition and just started kind of pushing me around and making fun of me, and it was exactly like what this movie is and this dynamic. So it felt like kind of, oh yeah, that seems like the right guy.
Was he an easy person to direct because of that sort of level of banter that seems to be naturally there? Or?
He was easy to direct because he was great. So that's the easiest thing in the world. When somebody's great, you basically don't have to do anything. Just let them do their thing. And he was really great.
For those that won't have seen the film, there's a scene that right at the very end where it just is all in his eyes, the sort of weight of emotion. Yeah. There's something that is just very deserving of him, of all the attention that's being generated at the moment. Do you hope he wins Best Supporting?
Yeah, I hope he wins everything. I mean, whenever you work on a movie, you think that the people around you are like the greatest people on the planet because you're working so closely with them and you're living and working weird hours and everything, and you fall in love with everybody you're working with. And so with this, it just so happens that the guy I, fell in love with and was so enthralled by is also being received by the public that way. That's rare.
Best of luck tonight. Very nice to meet you. Thank you. Enjoy the evening. Yes, look, sadly, I
Jesse
think
Eisenberg, of course, the writer of A Real Pain. He's up for original screenplay. And we've also got Kieran Culkin, who we've not seen on the carpet yet, but he will be there. He is up for the best supporting actor, and a lot of people, including me, think he would definitely take that win today.
I hope so. Everyone loves him. I love him.
And of course, while Katie was chatting to Jessie there, we saw Ariana Grande having her photographs taken, looking unbelievably fabulous in a great big puffy dress. Oh, there's Saoirse Ronan. So all the dresses are coming out now, aren't they? Some really beautiful looks from all of our leading ladies and support actresses.
She's up for the Outrun Best Actress. I read yesterday that her husband, Jack Lowden from Slow Horses, was a producer on that film, which I didn't know about, which is quite nice.
I love these celebrity careers. And actually, Saoirse Ronan, I mean, she's a young whippersnapper, fairly young whippersnapper. She's been nominated 7 times. So, I mean, talk about successful. I mean, she is just crazy. But 7 times, no wins. So will tonight be her first night? There we go. There's Jack Lowden that you were chatting about.
Yeah.
Of course, from Slow Horses and other very good TV programmes.
Yeah, she's also in Blitz, which is up for Outstanding British Film. She's not nominated for that, but the film is. The Steve McQueen historical war drama, and everything he does is amazing. So, yeah, it's quite nice to be fact. She could be up on stage twice.
Yeah, definitely. And BAFTA favourite Steve McQueen. Obviously, all of his work gets a lot of attention, and rightly so. The Outrun, I haven't heard so much about this. It's funny, isn't it? The various films that do and don't get lots of attention at award seasons. And sadly, there's like several films that get loads of the attention. And it's a bit of a shame that there kind of isn't a bit more to go around to some of these little films. But hopefully seeing names like The Outrun, which I have not seen and I want to, you think, now let's look it up. Let's take a look and take a look off the back of this, whether or not she wins it or not.
Yeah, her performance for that has been critically, it's just praised. Everything she does, she can't do anything wrong.
She nails it.
Everything she does, it's amazing. So, yeah. Who's this?
Looking great.
No, yeah.
That's the trouble. There are so many people. I think you could literally you could spend the entire previous year trying to learn people's names and faces and still not know, because there's all these people that we don't normally necessarily see on the screen. But that's what it is. It's a celebration, isn't it, of the entire filmmaking community. And let's face it, when you watch the credits at the end of a film, there are so many, and you always inevitably think, wow, look at all the people whose talent went into making this film. I mean, it's outstanding, isn't it? Here we go, Lupita Nyong'o, we chatted about her earlier. She is one of the voice actors in Wild Robot, up for a couple of awards tonight. She might also be presenting something.
I think you are right.
Yeah. Yes, she is. She's one of the presenters tonight as well, looking gorgeous in monochrome.
Yeah. It's really helpful having all these names, but annoyingly, you don't have enough eyes to see them all at the same time.
That's the thing.
So I will double. Yes, she is presenting.
Yeah.
And so is Leo Woodall, which is fun. Who else is on this list that I can see?
Will we have a Bridget Jones reunion of Hugh Grant and Leo Woodall? I do hope that the snappers catch some photos of them saying hello to each other, and because they're the best bits, aren't they? We just saw Sebastian Stan and Jeremy Strong having a bit of a
hopefully there'll be obviously
romance.
Cynthia and Ariana will be together all night, holding space.
Quite literally holding space. Well, and they got matching tattoos as well, didn't they? To celebrate working together on part 1 of Wicked. Part 2 still to come next year.
I keep forgetting part 2 is coming. Oh, there's Selena
Gomez, one of the stars of Emilia Perez, of course, and she is up for Best Support Actress tonight.
She is also presenting as well, I think, which is,
I mean, that's tricky, isn't it? She's up against her co-star Zoe Saldana. Both fantastic performances. I mean, my money would be on Zoe. Really, kind of more to do with the role, really, than the actual performance. A lot of it is down to how much you can showcase, and we get to see her do so much. But yeah, really kind of interesting roles across the board for everybody in that film. Whatever you think of it, it kind of pushes boundaries. Everyone has to sing and dance a bit as well, which is not as easy as it looks.
I do like to see Selena doing well. I think because like we're similar in age, I followed her when I was younger, watching like Wizards of Waverly Place.
Oh,
so she's came
back in the day.
Yeah, she's
Apparently she was in Barney as well. She was a
Yeah.
friend of Barney on the kiddies TV program.
She's came far, and I love Only Murders in the Building. She's great in that, but I don't really love her character, so it's nice to see her play something a bit different. I feel like she kind of just plays herself in
but
Only
does
Murders
it
in the
really
Building.
well.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, Vera Wang is on the screen right now. She looks like she's doing a bit of a Bianca Censori moment, but don't worry, she's not taking everything off, I don't think. She looks absolutely fantastic. She's a BAFTA member. She is patron. She is obviously fashion designer. She is an icon. I'm a big fan of Vera Wang. It's lovely to see her on the red carpet there, looking utterly gorgeous. And she must be freezing, but I admire her immensely because I wear my socks everywhere I go, several pairs on currently. But to see Vera Wang working the red carpet like that and looking, I'm not going to say her age because age is just a number, but can I just say she looks about a quarter of her age, let alone half of it. And if I look half as good when I am getting the years up, I'll be very happy to look like Vera Wang at any point in
I
my
love
life.
the sunglasses as well.
Yes,
Like
yes.
definitely not. I mean, I don't even know what the weather's like outside. All I know is that it's cold.
Yes. We haven't got windows, sadly. Something that Sky News doesn't have many of, but there's not many windows. Yes. Oh, there we go. Lupita Nyong'o there having a photo. So hang on. No, this is one of the fellow presenters. I want to say it's Mark Hamill, but am I making that
look like
up?
Mark Hamill.
You know when you doubt yourself.
Yeah.
But I do believe he is going to be there, so it would make absolute sense for it to be him.
I'm going to.
Yeah, do take
I
a
will
look.
look up for you. Yes.
Yes, one of the big stars, one of our big British stars there. One of our
He is presenting as well, yeah.
There's so many. Oh, Demi Moore. Demi
Yeah.
Moore is here, looking utterly amazing, as one would expect.
She looks amazing.
She's gone for a high neckline, and boy, does that look good. Of course, she's one of the big hopes tonight for taking Best Actress. If she does, it will carry on her campaign, which is looking good so far. In a couple of weeks to take home Best Actress Oscar. She's been working in the industry for decades and decades and decades since she was kind of in her very early 20s, and she's worked pretty non-stop. But as you said, popcorn actress is what she was told that she would be, and now she's proving them wrong because she's just all the big awards.
She looks great as well. Like her dress, love it.
I'd expect nothing less.
I know.
And in fairness, they do have a bit of help. All the designers are really keen to. Oh, hello,
Oh, is that Guy
Pearce? So we can see Guy Pearce on the red carpet. Hopefully, he'll be talking to Katie. We've already chatted to him during this awards season. I think Debbie Riggard caught up with him and Felicity Jones. And was talking to them about their performances and about working opposite Adrian Brody, who's an absolute sky. Should we have a listen in?
Just how far you've grown as an actor?
I don't know that events like this put it in perspective. I think just, having worked for 40 years puts things in perspective, to be honest. Yeah.
Quite a long time.
Yeah, quite a long time. Quite old now.
And Guy, I want to ask you a little bit about the film and the fact that your character is very, very complicated, very, very rich, and a little bit evil. There's a scene in the movie where basically you disappear. What happens to you? Or is that giving away the film?
Oh, I'm not going to tell you what happens to me. That's part of the joy of the film, is it leaves it up to the audience to try and think about what might happen to him.
How proud are you of The Brutalist?
Very proud, yeah, really, and not so much proud, but just really happy to be part of it. I think it's an extraordinary film, and I feel really lucky, fortunate, and grateful to be part of it. Yeah.
I know this is a ridiculous question, I'm sorry. EastEnders is turning 40. You started out in soaps. What makes soap actors so good?
Oh, I don't know. All that practice, I guess. We do a lot of scenes very quickly. We get a lot of quick practice, yeah.
Guy Pearce, thank you.
No worries, thank you.
Guy, can I grab you for
Hello,
Sky
yes.
News?
Hello,
Very
Sky
nice
News.
to meet you. Look, I'll steal his description. How was it playing someone that's a little bit evil? That's quite fun.
Well, look, I'm used to playing characters that are a little bit evil, but I find ultimately it's about finding characters that are just complex and complicated, and good people doing bad things and bad people doing good things, all that stuff. So it's great to play characters that are questionable and perhaps their moral compass is also questionable or dubious. Yeah.
Compared to other scripts that you've flipped through over the years, was this instantly very different?
Yeah, it was beautifully written. I mean, it was like reading a great novel. It had that quality to it, and you just knew straight away because the description of the characters and the way in which the characters sort of interacted with each other very quickly. I went, wow, I'm fascinated by these people, and I could see these people
quite often I'll read something and it might be a great story, but I don't fully get a sense of the character, and I've got to talk to the director more to try and understand who it is that they want me to play, and whereas this was very clear from the outset. I didn't have to do any work at all, to be honest. I just sort of went, that guy, okay.
What you do is brilliant, and all of the acting performances in this are terrific. I feel like every time I see you, I'm asking about your badges as well. For you, why are you wearing these badges on the carpet? What's this one mean?
This is Artists for Ceasefire, so I just think the least we can do is at least sort of, just show some support for the people of Palestine and the freedom that they clearly are losing at this point in time and have done for many, many years. So I think, as I say, the least we can do is just show some support. Yeah.
It's a great film, The Brutalist. Nice to meet you. Thank
you very much.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Bye.
Guy Pearce there, bringing a bit of politics to the red carpet, wearing a badge to support a ceasefire. Obviously, we often don't see much politics on the red carpet. Sometimes people do bring it in there, so it's worth noting. It's obviously a big showcase, a big platform. And also, look, we've got another big star arrived, Zoe Saldana. Very likely to take home Best Supporting Actress, I would say. I fancy her chances of going home with a BAFTA tonight. Yeah. Don't you?
Yeah, I think, I can't stop looking at her. She's great.
Yeah.
I think she could do it. And she probably will. And then she'll probably just do it at the Oscars as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. One leads to the other, I always think. It certainly helps, doesn't it? We also saw some other stars arriving there while Katie was chatting to Guy Pearce. We saw Anna Kendrick going in, didn't we?
We saw Hugh Grant. Hugh Grant, and then we saw Coleman Domingo again showing off the inside of his jacket, which is Versace everywhere.
Working it, wasn't he? He's working it beautifully.
I think that was it. And just on Guy Pearce, I just always forget he's Australian. Yeah, always.
To anyone of a certain age, he will always be Mike from Neighbours, but boy, has he done well. We've also got a bit of an exclusive from the red carpet here today. Kneecap have been asked what they think about potentially getting censored if they go up on the stage and win, because I imagine those guys will definitely have something to say. They're not short of a word or two. And they said, F them. We've got what we wanted out of it already. So, I mean, hey, talk about attitude. I mean, they're bringing some attitude to the stage, potentially, if they win, and definitely bringing attitude to the red carpet. And also, wearing a balaclava, as one of the members does. What a way to keep warm.
All the time. Yeah. I actually don't know what he looks like without it.
Well, no, I think that's part of it. It's DJ Provi. I don't know what I'm saying right, but he's kind of performs anonymously. It's quite a nice idea, isn't it? I guess he can go about his business and not be hassled. Yeah. And keep his face warm. I mean, I'm quite tempted. It would take time off my morning routine if I just had a balaclava I could wear to work.
But we must be nearly getting near the end. It's 4:30 now.
Exactly.
So
there's Yuri from up for Best Supporting Actor for Anora. As you said, this is kind of his first big kind of UK language film. So to a lot of us, we would never have heard him before unless you watch your Russian films, which I'm not really up to date with. There's his co-star Mark Eidelstein, who we chatted to earlier as well.
He looks like he's having the best time.
He really does. He's only 22.
Yeah, young. Oh, he's just said how cold he is.
He is. And he's got a lovely, great big blazer on. Goodness, think how cold poor Vera Wang must be.
I know.
There's Jessie. See that? See now, as we said at the beginning, there's big gaps in the red carpet. But now, by the end, it will literally be star after star after star after director, and then at the end they'll be whizzing through. And getting them all sat down, because imagine how long it must take to get those guys all sat down at the ceremony, get them to put down their drinks, get them to kind of sit down and pay attention, turn off their phones. That's like herding cats, herding celebrities.
I wonder if you can be late to these things. I mean, I suppose you can if you're famous. But I wonder if you just want to ditch the red carpet and just turn up late.
Well, it's worth saying, I mean, the Grammys a couple of weeks ago, Beyonce, of course, big star of the show, the big winner of the night, she did not walk the red carpet. She just whizzed in. No messing about for Beyonce.
And then a few years ago as well, was it a few years ago? Last year, Taylor Swift. Oh, there's Kneecap.
There's Kneecap. We've just seen Kneecap head in, getting their photos. Oh, I love that. They just took a photo of the photographers with their camera.
I think that's it. Oh, God.
And we've got some, we perhaps a cut away from them there. They may not be talking, but they are already making their opinions known. Is probably the best way to say it.
I think the director as well, or the writer, was with them as well. So there's not 4 of them, there's only 3 members.
Yes.
The other guy, can't remember his name off the top of my head, but that's who that is. Oh, they're doing it again.
Yes, they are. I mean, they are going to be troublesome. Let's face it. If they win their awards tonight, they are definitely going to give the editors a bit of a run for their money, and that's possibly why the BAFTAs doesn't go out live. It's worth saying that we'll be watching the show live, but it won't be going out on the TV live, and it is for just those eventualities when people maybe say a little bit too much or get overexcited, or so BAFTA will be fully in control and can fully edit it should they
But we will be reporting live on our live blog, so we'll have the winners first.
Katie is speaking to Mikey Madsen.
And sort of working out what you do while it was actually happening. How did it work?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a very collaborative director, very, very kind, and really allowed us to express ourselves and however we were feeling in the moment. So yeah, absolutely, it was just very organic. Yeah.
How did it feel to be having that dual nomination of being up for newcomer and at the same time Best Actress against some of the sort of big hitters of Hollywood as well? Has it been sort of strange to wrap your head around?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a huge honor. I'm very lucky and humbled to be in this position and to be amongst such incredible artists. It's really special.
You are absolutely wonderful in this as well. And can I ask about the use of intimacy coaches? I read that you'd sort of spoken beforehand with Sean Baker about, and you clearly felt comfortable with knowing what your boundaries were. Why did you make that decision?
I was comfortable. Yeah.
And are you incredibly proud of this film? It's a wonderful offering to be.
Yes, I know. It's such a special film, and I'm so lucky to have worked with someone like Sean and our incredible cast. So it's definitely going to be a film that I will look back on and remember very fondly. Thank you.
Congratulations. It's a lovely film.
Adrian Brody.
We've just been chatting there to Mikey Madsen, the breakout star of Anora. Very, definitely up there to win Best Actress tonight. She might be picked to the post by Demi Moore. We can see Vanessa Kirby doing some posing there. She's presenting, I think.
Yes, and I just still obsessed with her performance from The Crown. Still thinks she was amazing. And
stand out.
Yeah, so, who's this? Oh, I don't know.
Fantastic gold. I love a bit of sparkle at the event. It's also worth saying that a lot of the celebrities we're seeing kind of, as well as we've just seen some rude gestures on the red carpet, we're also seeing lots of gestures based around being cold. It's actually really chilly on the red carpet tonight. It may not be raining, but definitely you can see there's a bit of a wind, and a lot of the stars, even the fellas in their blazers and stuff, they're kind of signalling that they're a bit chilly. So I think they are all suffering for their art a little bit and kind of shivering, but trying to look nice in the photos still.
Yeah, and when Katie was talking to Mikey there, I think I saw Felicity Jones from The Ruthless
snaffling.
Yes, I think it was her. Could be wrong, but I'm 99% sure it was her.
What was she? Did you spot what she was wearing? I didn't see her at all. She ran in.
Yeah, it was too quick.
Simon Pegg.
All black.
Simon Pegg's there.
He's presenting as well, I think.
Yeah, it really is a great roster of presenters. I know. I've said that, but I really think that. And of course, Warwick Davies, who went in earlier, we saw him on the red carpet. He's being presented with the BAFTA Fellowship this year, so we'll see him definitely later in the show. Being presented with things. And Jeff Goldblum, who we saw right early on, actually, he was there early doors, wasn't he? Maybe he's got to do a bit of tinkling on the piano.
Yeah, maybe he's rehearsing.
Rehearsal, yeah, exactly. So he'll be playing. That's one of our potential BAFTA rising stars. That is David Johnson, one of the stars of industry, as amongst other things. And he is up for the Rising Star Award with 4 other people. He's looking great tonight, actually. He's really working it. Rye Lane star as well.
That's what he's in. I knew I recognised him.
Yeah, Letitia Wright, looking gorgeous in kind of oxblood, maroon burgundy. I think she is presenting an award as well.
Yes, she is.
Yeah. Oh, it's actually very interesting. Several of these dresses have those kind of panels on, don't they? Like either a panel at the front or a panel at the back, structured,
Zoe's was like that. Hers is like that. And obviously Cynthia
went full on, kind of like almost like a windscreen.
I wonder if when she sits down if she'll have to take it off. Like I wonder if it will kind of rise up. I don't know.
No, I'm sure there'll be no wardrobe malfunctions. I'm sure her people have checked it all out and made sure it works.
It will be edited out.
Exactly. Well, as you can see now, we've literally got kind of like the last clutches of people. I mean, people don't, I think, have to be actually sat down in the room ready to go until just before 5, but it takes a long time to get so many people into one room. So
I'd like to think as well, you want your drink, you
definitely want your drink, wouldn't you?
You want, like, you know, last minute bathroom break.
Yes, check your makeup.
Yeah. So, I'm surprised, like, I knew it all would get like this at the end, but I'm surprised there's still so many.
Showbiz is all about hurry up and wait, isn't it? It's lots of waiting around until go, 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 but that's just how it works. And we can see here, obviously, it's a bit of a pipeline with the photos, with the journalist interviews, and of course, like, obviously, we're there on the red carpet. Katie's chatting to people for us. All the other big outlets should be there on the carpet. There'll be influencers, there'll be radio stations. Oh, Adrian Brody. Look, he's left it to the last minute because he knows he's going to be popular. He's looking very happy tonight, actually. He's looking, got a real sparkle. Yes, of course, one of the leading front runners, I'd say, in the leading actor category. I think it's him and Ralph Fiennes that will be going head to head, in my opinion.
I would know it was Conclave at the start, but now I'm thinking maybe it will be the Brutalist.
It was interesting when Katie was speaking to the director, him saying about him not being necessarily, he was always on the list. He was always an actor. He considered playing Laszlo Toth, the architect he plays in The Brutalist, but it was not just him. And so obviously he was overjoyed when it actually worked out and came to fruition, because I think it's taken him about 10 years to make this film, Brody Corbet, 10 years to put together and get to air. So anyone, I mean, not many of us make a film, do we? No. But it's a labour of love, and yeah, for it to then finally work like this and obviously get all this recognition is a big deal for people.
Another fun fact about The Brutalist is where can I read my own handwriting? Yeah,
it was filmed in Hungary, wasn't it? I think a lot of it.
Yes, but so basically the way they filmed it is a thing called VistaVision. Maybe VistaVision. Don't know how to pronounce it.
Tell me more.
Which is like it's a higher resolution of 35mm. But basically it's the same format that was used in the big Hollywood pictures in the 1960s. And like that may be why it looks so aesthetically nice. Like, you know, the way it's shot.
The cinematography was... Oh, we need to listen to Katie. Ralph Fiennes being spoken to there by Katie Spencer.
Isn't it? That's why it's done so well, because the suspense that's built with it.
Yes, that was on the page of the screenplay, and I think Edward's intelligence and his film instinct was really able to sort of carve that tension, that narrative tension, because he's just very intelligent, and I think I think we were a strong cast. We all bounced off each other, and it was just there's no recipe, I think, for. You can have good film scripts and they can not work out, and I think in this instance, because of Edward, I'm just in such awe of his atmosphere on set. He allows, you see, a lot of directors are quite impositional, which can be great, but I think actors feel very supported when the director allows them to follow their instincts, and you feel there's time, even when there's no time.
Thank you. I'm so sorry, we have to move on.
Well, we will at some point have a conclave, and the divisions. I think there might be one or two divisions or different alignments in the Catholic Church. They will come to the fore at some point, like we see in any election, anyway.
Thank you. We have last one.
Ralph Fiennes there talking to us on the red carpet. You could see there, you could hear the PR literally saying, I'm sorry, I need to take him in now, because that's how it is. He's literally wanted in the auditorium to sit down so they can start the show.
I love that he just kept talking though. Like, they just keep going until he's done making his point or answering the questions.
Absolutely, they're meaty points, isn't it? You know, talking about the Catholic Church. Oh, there we go, Mikey Madsen. They're looking lovely in cream.
I think she's 25, 26.
So
still very young.
So young. I mean, hence she's up for both leading actress and also rising star. So she's a worthy nominee in both, and you know, could in theory win both.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
That would be. She'd like be setting a record and stuff like that, or history. She'd be the first to do it.
I think that it's definitely people have been up for both before. But not often, because as you say, like normally you have to establish yourself a bit, but she has just, obviously Anora is a pretty special film actually, and it's definitely a standout performance.
I need to know more about the Take That choices, like why Take That?
I mean, definitely the Take That hit me while watching the film. It didn't spoil the film for me, but I definitely didn't see that link and wasn't expecting it. While we were chatting earlier there to Ralph Fiennes, we also saw Naban Rizwan arriving on the red carpet. He is one of the other fellow Rising Star nominees. So he was going on in, I can't help but wonder if he'll be chatting to Jeff Goldblum, because they've starred in Chaos together. So I'm sure they'll be catching up at some point during the show or afterwards at all the plethora of after parties, which of course take place straight after the BAFTAs into the night and probably into tomorrow as well. So yeah, we're just working through. You can see them literally now. They're only getting a couple of photos each because
you can see how fast it is. Whereas earlier on it was long.
Brilliant. We've got Katie has got somebody else on the red carpet. Oh no, she's more important than that. She's going to be talking to us.
Oh yeah.
Love
there
it.
she is there.
Hi there, Katie.
Someone with me.
Katie.
Finally, I'm on my own. It's very good. Look, these really strange events within the entertainment calendar that we have, where usually it's sort of the one film premiere you go to, and you know exactly who's going to be in front of you, and you know exactly what the film is and what you're going to ask. This is sort of chaos and confusion of anyone being presented in front of you at any time, and it's all a bit like running on adrenaline for the last 2 hours. But we got a few famous faces, didn't we? I thought it was quite good
You
fun.
got more than a few, Katie. You are like a swan. Your legs may be pedalling furiously, but you look smooth and elegant and beautiful as far as we're concerned. Honestly, you've spoken to all the big stars. We enjoyed you speaking to Rafe. He was fantastic. And you know, will we be seeing him step onto that stage and being the big winner of the night? Maybe.
I know. I'm slightly gutted that we didn't actually get to talk to the boys from Kneecap. That was the one group that we were really wanting to talk to, but actually in the end they ended up rushing inside. Look, tell me, ladies, who, from a fashion perspective, what did I miss? Did anyone have a really good frock on?
Cynthia Erivo's dress was amazing.
Cynthia is working it, as you'd
I don't think we saw anyone from Wicked down here.
I mean, absolutely. Ariana Grande was looking beautiful in a great big pink and black number. Has to be said, I mean, Vera Wang, I'm just personally obsessed with her anyway, but she looked fantastic. And am I right in thinking, just in the way you're standing, it's a bit chilly on that red carpet, because Vera Wang was not wearing loads of layers.
Oh, Vera would have been absolutely in need of a warm thermal coat of some description as soon as she gets off of here. What an evening it's been. Everyone's packing up here now and sort of heading inside. So no doubt we will soon be finding out exactly who's won what at the ceremony, which is very exciting in itself. Is there a BAFTA that we could get in terms of our red carpet achievements over the last
do you know what,
2 hours?
Katie? It's funny you say that. We've got a couple. We've got a couple here in the studio, and I'm going to put your name on one of them, because you're doing a stellar job there on the red. I can literally see them packing it up around you. And so now what you're going to do is you're going to be racing into the ceremony, you're going to be watching the ceremony, putting it all together and working out who the big stars are that we're all going to be talking about for the rest of the day and all tomorrow and probably throughout the week, to be honest.
And I am none the wiser. Are you about who's going to win? I think I've been saying it constantly for the last 2.5 hours. I don't know who's going to win. Actually, maybe having ended by talking to Ray Fiennes, shall we go for Conclave as the winner?
But then part of my gut saying Brutalist now. I don't know.
Oh, Molly,
I keep changing my mind.
Molly was Team Conclave. No,
Molly.
I think it's the BAFTAs. I think as much as I am a fan of the Brutalist, I think Rafe and Conclave is going to be a sweep. Okay. That's the prediction.
We're Team Conclave.
Yeah, it could be totally wrong, obviously.
We will find out.
Yeah. Well, listen, I really hope the ceremony is fantastic. Go get a drink, go warm up, and we will talk to you, no doubt, after the ceremony. And we'll be live blogging it as well, so watch that if you want to take a look at who wins. Thanks, Katie.
Bye.
She doesn't look cold.
No,
she may be cold, but she doesn't look cold. As indeed most of the stars didn't look cold. No. We just know they're cold because we can see them in between.
Shaking.
Doing bits and pieces. But fantastic red carpet, fantastic showing. Yeah. So now we have just got the actual main event to watch.
15 minutes to go.
15 minutes, and then the BAFTAs will start. We will be live blogging it. We'll be bringing you the winners as they're announced. We'll be able to tell you who the big star of the show is, which film nails it. Is it Conclave? Are we right? Or are we totally off the money? Follow us, have a look. We'll be writing about it and talking about it, no doubt, and I'm sure sharing various things on the socials.
On Instagram we'll have everything, and I'm just going to be in live blog mode now.
So we are literally going to just ditch in, get some work done, do some writing, have a look on the live blog, see who wins. Good luck to everyone at the BAFTAs. May the best film win.